Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, a time zone friendly welcome to anywhere around the world that you happen to be joining into not only some of the best Dota in South Africa, but the best Dota in South Africa. You know why? Because you tuned into EGL 1 Season 2, and welcome. This is going to be a great night. We're again kicking things off with the second round of the upper bracket, and it's a nice match that we got going head-to-head. The runners-up from Season 1, Energy Esports, going up against the hopeful side of Black Rabbit Gaming, which was last season's Team Pingu. And it's going to be a good match. I think it's sort of up in the air which way this one's going to go. But of course, I'm not only going to be doing this myself. You know, I need a bit of help. So I've decided to grab in Hellbird's beard, and Hellbird decided to tag along as well. How you doing, man?
You're asking the beard, you're asking Hellbird. It's good to be here. It's good to be here. It's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, this matchup is between, I would still say, a team that is going to go very far in this competition. And if I'm totally honest with you, I think firm favorites in this one. I know that they have some tough competition. This is one of the hardest sides they could play in the entire tournament in the form of Black Rabbit Gaming. But the reality is, Energy, they're just that good, man. Adestam last season was a killer, and I expect him to be just as good this season. It hasn't even been that long, right?
No, it hasn't been long at all. I mean, both of these teams sort of taken a hiatus since last season, not playing too many pro matches here and there. Energy have played a few, but I think it's around about 5, and the majority of them were just plain and simple wins for Energy, just taking things as they usually did. Because as you remember, last season, it was sort of that upset coming into it, where Energy looked like the dominant side coming into the season, but then losing out to Sinister 5 twice, and then going the 3-1 in the grand finals to lose it out and place the runners up at the end of the day.
That was a very weird thing as well, because if you recall, Sinister 5 also changed their roster quite a bit in that event. So it wasn't even a case of them, oh yeah, Sinister 5 are just building up and every game just gets a little bit better. It was more like, we don't know what we're doing. We try and make this work. It worked, and they ended up going, finding themselves in second position. But obviously, again, I think it also just comes down to the raw talent. I mean, Adestam, he's a crazy player. He's like really, really good at Dota, and he's been on fire. So if he's kept any kind of momentum going into the season, he's going to be a real struggle for anyone to get across. And he's not exactly alone in that matter either. His team is, they're pretty scary guys backing him up.
Star-studded, not to be disappointed by any of them. So we had the likes of, I believe the new addition was Soup that came in around May or April time, I believe. Just after the Keystroke Cup and into the Grand Magus. I believe the Grand Magus, he played POS 1 for them. I think Deppy couldn't play then. But he's filled in that POS 4 role quite nicely. And I remember from the interview last season, he said that's where he prefers to play at the end of the day. He just ended up playing, I believe it was mid for Punks in the earlier part of the year, just because that's the slot that they needed. But it just shows how much of a versatile player it is. And I have these clips and these memories of his Snapfire plays from last season, and hopefully we get to see something of the likes of that this season. But going on to Black Rabbit, so a little bit of a funny thing, you could probably see, you'll see it later from their logo. It's reminiscent of the Team Pingu. Did a little bit of edit there, because it is the same team.
Who edited that?
Who edited it? I don't know who made the logo. It's just someone else. I don't know. But no, it's a nice seeing them back, and they're playing. They're just here to enjoy, play some nice good Dota, and they're a good team of guys to start it off with. So we'll see if they can. Is choke the right word? Choke isn't the right word, because they didn't choke it. They just got beat last season in that low bracket against Hayes Gaming. It was the sort of if you could discount the low bracket and the grand finals, sort of the match of the season, actually. You also had the Aura White Gaming, but White Rabbit Gaming. But I mean, do you think it's going to go the same way this season, or do you think they got something up their pocket?
So in their pocket. Somewhere around their pocket, left or right pocket, maybe. It's on a chain, actually. It's just hanging from the pocket. You know what the thing is? When I see a team underperform an event, and that's what they did. If you could maybe say that they actually lost to a better side, like during EGL 1 Season 1, they were just beaten by the better team on the day. It could be all these wonderful things. But the reality is these players will look back and they'll say, we didn't get the result we wanted. We feel like we should have gone further. And there's no ways that anyone would tell you differently.
Yeah.
Now, when you have those kind of situations, you kind of tell certain tells about the team, like, are they playing as much together? Do you see that little subtweet come out? Or are they just, kind of banging out small puppies trying to fix things? I feel like the fact that they changed their logo kind of tells me that there was almost a good chance that they've had like a very big change towards their approach in this. It's not just the way that the logo looks. It's like, have they changed this logo to a kind of meme play on the fact that there's another Rabbit Gaming in this tournament?
Definitely.
Is it some sort of playful thing that they're just doing, or are they actually a side that weren't even intending to be around and we're kind of like, oh wait, hold on, there's another chance here? And if it's the latter, then I think Energy are going to kill them. I think Energy are just going to absolutely barrel through them, and I think they're going to lose to another wildcard side in this tournament, because that's not the kind of attitude that their opponents have. Their opponents are going to have the attitude of, we're here to prove a point. And last season, we saw sides being able to do so, and it just opened the floodgates. I mean, I would not feel safe if I was Energy or Sinister 5 or any of the top dogs anymore, because the floodgates have opened, and it happened last season. So Pingu have to be, or Pingu, the former team Pingu, Black Rabbit Gaming, now need to be the side that say, we are the guys who are actually here to, totally wipe the floor with our big opposition. If they come with that attitude, I think Energy is still going to beat them, but I think it'll be a much better game.
No, definitely, that's what we want to see. We want to see good Dota at the end of the day, and I mean, well, upset is also good Dota if you want to look at it like that. But surely, as you say, Energy should be and are the favorites coming into this matchup. But we spoke about a little bit beforehand. Is Black Rabbit have this chance to sort of push things through? And you mentioned them dropping down to the low brackets. If the losing team of this matchup is going to end up in I believe the third slot of the low bracket, which means eventually they'll have to go up, presumably against either the likes of VDRXP, Forsaken Dragons, XT, and White Rabbit. So all sort of these very good sides, and sorry, not VDRXP, VDrop. I apologize. I did curse you guys on the podcast beforehand, but that is the actual name. And it's a bit of a tough slot that you put yourself into there, and I don't want to say the history repeats itself, but it might at the end of the day. And I think that's pretty much all we have to cover on the team side of things. But I mean, I will say this. Okay, I'm gonna be frank. It's great being here, being myself, talking to all of you guys, sharing our love of Dota. But it's nice having you here alongside me, Hellbird's Beard, and Hellbird, of course. But you haven't done much analyst work in recent times. So are you up to the job?
I mean, look, George, I think the first thing that stands out, I'm pretty sure that, the 8 years I've been absent from the analytical side of casting, how much could it possibly have changed, right? I mean, surely it's just like riding a bike. But I mean, there's also, there's that, the information's out there. You've seen the video, right?
Video?
The video, the one that explains why I'm the best of all the shoutcasters in South Africa. No? You haven't?
I haven't seen the video, no.
You know what? I tell you what. Let's show George the video. How's that sound, guys?
Right.
Why I'm better than all of my colleagues. A love story about Hellbird, for Hellbird, by Hellbird. Now I know what you're thinking. Why would I even need to make this? Well, I'm glad you've asked. This isn't only about me being right, it's also about not a hero being wrong, which he never is, but that ends today. You see, dear viewer, tonight I'll be your analyst, and as all good analysts know, stats don't lie. Like that picture below, which has had to be photoshopped to remove Snake, who was formerly between us in the photo. But I digress. Let's get on with our lesson, and it's all about statistics. Please take a moment to familiarize yourself with figure 1. As you can see, all of the predictions marked in red are incorrect, and all the predictions marked in green are correct, and all the predictions are mine. 100% correct. That's right, friends, I'm literally an EGL oracle, and I make no false promises. Notice the figure 1.b. Exactly, there is none, and there are no predictions made by Not a Hero. He is, therefore, 100% wrong. But Hellbird, I hear you say, it's not all about predictions. Not a Hero is a veteran of competitive Dota. But look again. In the recent EGL 1 Season 2 qualifiers, Not a Hero represented Salt XD, a team that boasted a 50% win rate in the competition, and was unlucky enough to miss a wildcard draw. But when you look deeper, you'll find that I too played for this side, and I only played in 50% of those games. The winning 50% with a 100% win rate. But that's not all. I haven't played a tournament since 2016, which means I have a 100% win rate in competitive Dota for half a decade, and Astra watches my pubbies. Okay, I guess I haven't beat there, but what about head-to-head? That's where it really matters, my fellow Dota 2 compadres. Well, behold figure 4. At the top, my total games with Underlord. Below, Not a Hero's most successful hero. And once again, you may be shocked and surprised, but it is true. I have a 100% win rate against his meager 71%. But what does it all mean, you may cry? Let's do some quick maths. 0% predictions plus 50% EGL games won plus 71% best hero win rate gives him a final score of 40.333% reoccurring, of course. Which pales in comparison to my glorious 100, 100, 100, and 100% overall score. The outcome is simple. Hellbird is greater than all of his colleagues.
Well, I don't know what else I have to say. I'm convinced. I mean, you've proven to me that this is the best. You are the best, 100% in every single category.
100%?
Well, what more? The stats don't lie.
The stats don't lie. And those were all real stats. You can check them right now. If you somehow manage to find, well, there's a tweet. You can see the statistics from EGL 1 qualifiers, Season 2, of course.
True.
Good luck finding the fact I didn't play games in 2016, but take my word for it, this case. And of course, Underlord stats are there, guys. It's what it is. It's the real world of.
Okay. So we heard it here first on the main broadcast. Hellbird now premier analyst of the South African scene, and who is that other guy? What a hero? Isn't a hero? Wasn't
something
a hero?
About a hero?
I can't remember. Something hero. But that's going to be that. And yeah, so I think you're up to the job. I'm thankful to have such.
You're welcome to have me.
I'm in awe of your presence, and your beard.
Okay. Anyways, shall we return back to the second most important topic of the day, which is of course Energy Esports versus Black Rabbit Gaming. We're not too far off from going live. I will say this much: we're obviously all high on TI at the moment. It's still something that is just very, very fresh, and I'm sure we all are expecting to see a lot of things that are from TI. I know that I was watching the broadcast yesterday and people spoke about the likes of the Magnus being picked up, and will we see it? What about the Elder Titan, etc.? I'm more worried about things like the Elder Titan, if I'm totally honest with you, because I think the Elder Titan is something that we've actually seen in South African Dota being used in the way it was used at TI, whilst with regards to Magnus, not as much. But I will say this much. If we do have a side in South Africa that can perform as well as collapse on a hero like Magnus, it'll be a side like Energy Esports or Sinister 5, for example, because they are the kind of teams that have these very high-level, divine, immortal players, etc. And it's going to be crazy. But there's a reason that this stuff works, and I'd love to take a moment to go there, but let's, I guess, save it a little bit more for the draft.
Well, we'll see it in there, but of course, like you say, Energy Esports, the caliber of team to do that, and Japa, who's going to be playing on the POS 3 time. I believe it is Japa playing tonight. I could be wrong on that regard, but so we'll see if he picks it up. Hopefully Magnus doesn't plague EGL like it has been in pubs recently, but it's nice to see those skewer players. I'm not going to lie. It's something that is just magnifique. And the thing that everyone sort of missed from Team Spirit in particular is their Bane usage with the mag as well. The Bane and the ET, as you mentioned. It's just such a good setup that you have the skewer into the Stomp, the Nightmare into the skewer into the Fiend's Grip. I mean, you could go on and on forever and ever about it, but we're going to be going into the draft not too long from now. So on sort of the sides of picks, what do you sort of see coming out? Is there sort of a given hero that every team wants to pick up, sort of like Duck is always going to be looking to Death Prophet in one of their games?
So I think that a big deal for Energy Esports is they play around their mid. So Adastam, whatever your name is, I always get it wrong. He's quite I would say, a greedy mid in the sense that he plays some heroes that even the last season we saw him pick up things like Shadow Fiend, for example, where he plays these heroes that do a lot of farming, a lot of TAs, those kind of things, and they will try to pick heroes that will give him a lot of space to do that so that he can kind of take over the game. And we hear a lot of the concept of like snowballing, right? But it's such a generic, I don't like it, such a generic term. It doesn't really explain like what exactly is going on, because really what the concept of snowballing is, if you think about it, is you are achieving your timings and objectives so much faster than your opponents that they're like several layers deep down in the trenches of being unable to follow up. And what I think that means for a team like Energy Esports is farm, right? So what they're going to want to do is they're going to try to create a lot of space on the map for their farming heroes. They're going to try to create opportunities to push in creep waves so that they're bouncing off towers, so you have less time to be able to use your own jungle, occupy your opponent's jungle, those kind of behaviors. I think that's the kind of thing we're going to see from Energy in particular. From Black Rabbit Gaming, I'm not so sure. I don't know if they're going to go back to something that's a little bit more maybe gank orientated, because that would make a lot of sense to me. If you have these expensive heroes running on the map, having go away fly, if whatever you are, your little Mickey, stop it. We're on camera. We're gosh, on my light, on my ring light. Can you? Unbelievable. Anyways,
you got an uninvited guest.
I do. It's like every time I cast and not a hero pitches, I just, I thought we made it clear that this was the me show, right? This is EGL. In the EGL stands for Hellbird Season 2 somehow. Alright, that's anyways. So I was saying, if you have expensive heroes on the map,
hey, you're the smartest one here, so I'll take your word for it.
Let's not be crazy now. Let's have believable facts in the stream, George. Okay, yeah. so like they're gonna ban out the monkey and the Veno, and they also ban out the tiny from Energy. So surprise, surprise, and they're gonna finish it up with Snapfire. These are some of the most picked, and I mean, does Monkey King actually get to play Dota anymore?
I don't know. I mean, I've seen the monkey was sort of that versatile hero during TI10, where they would pick him for sort of the carry and either the POS 4 role. But on my record, I don't remember either Deppy or the likes of Unique playing monkey that much in the carry role. So I'm not sure of the ban reason there. Clockwork coming out.
Well, let me just make a point to you quickly. So Monkey King had a 24% pick rate in TI, but it's the most picked and banned hero, right? So think about that for a second. It got banned pretty much every. I think something like 80% of all Dota games TI they banned this hero out. So I'm not too surprised that is being banned out here. But okay, so Black Rabbit pick up the clock, which is interesting because that's in a different space entirely, and NG are as cookie cutter as you can imagine. Tidehunter, Enchantress. Now, okay, so here's the thing. This is tanky stuff, right? These things don't die. Now, one of the great things about something like a Tidehunter is that it fills a very particular niche in that it's one of the damage mitigation offlaners, right? And Collapse, obviously, one of the big examples of someone who played these kind of heroes. But basically, as a Tidehunter, you just absorb so much pressure, right? Now, what I'd love to see from Black Rabbit Gaming is them to respond with something like Disruptor, something like a Night Stalker, that has some kind of way to actually hold him in place without Kraken Shell just kind of activating, right? But as you see, Energy, they ban out the Disruptor. They're probably going to ban out the Night Stalker as well. If they, I think Night Stalker is not as bannable as Disruptor, but I still think it's a good ban when you're picking up a Tidehunter. We'll see if Black Rabbit will respond to that. But on top of that, they have the Enchantress as well. Now, Enchantress is another tanky hero, but it's tanky for a completely different reason, right? It's tanky because you can't really right-click it down. And the irony is that because Tidehunter wants to go pipe, right? It means that Enchantress will likely become the hero that absorbs all the pressure from physical damage, whilst Tide starts absorbing the magical damage pressure, right? So that's what they want to do. And as long as the Enchantress is at the back lines, what's going to happen is Tide is going to absorb the initial engagement, which is your stuns, your ultis, all that kind of stuff, which are magic and pure damage, and Enchantress has to worry about far less for the time that she enters the fray. So a really nice little opening combo from them. The response from Black Rabbit, though, the Clockwork and the Lifestealer, I mean, it's again something that makes a lot of sense in the fact that you just catch a ride on the Clockwork. I know not a hero will tell you in particular that those rides are inferior to the idea of it acting as an extra life. We can bail out of it, but it does give you that option at the very least. But ironically, Clockwork is almost seen as a counter lifestealer because of the, at least in old school thought, because he creates these bubbles where he can't participate in the fight.
Yeah.
They can actually get in the way of your lifestealer on your own team. So we'll see if they can use that well or if they end up messing it up. I mean, if it is a kind of delivery service, I'm not a massive fan. Anyway, I'm just spamming. George?
A lifestealer pick, honestly, because this is sort of this is the very minimal brain size, sort of like peanut size sort of thing of lifestealer has rage, so he can hit Enchantress. Done. My work here is done. I'll leave you to it. That's my job. No, really. I'm gonna stay through it, but I mean, it's just it's an okay hero, especially when you're going up against the Tide. If you're going to be going it in lane, my experience is even though you're not going to be able to put a lot of pressure on the Tide in lane, you'll just be able to lifesteal through from his high HP pool and just stay up to full health. I'm curious of the bans on the side of Black Rabbit. So the Naga, Dusa, and the Slark coming through. They really have okay.
Yes, so obviously the it would be a terrible thing for Energy to for Black Rabbit Gaming if Energy also had a Medusa. It's just so much tankiness that you have to deal with. Obviously, then you have the tankiest frontline. Maybe Spectre could have an argument for being tankier, but we all know how difficult that is. There's also another BKB penetrating Disable in her ultimate, so that's a problem. The Naga Siren is because Naga Siren with its Agnum Scepter has a BKB penetrating net on cooldown that is just. He doesn't have a cooldown, right? Like the moment you see the thing spin around, it's ready for you again. It's like what's that thing called? Leak Spin? Was it Leak Spin? The little anime? Okay, I'm too old for you guys. Anyways.
Yep, totally.
Someone find leaks. I'm pretty sure it's nothing terrible as well, right? Anyways, but the point is, so it's a good ban out from that perspective. It's pretty good against life. And obviously, Slark very just hard for a life to track down. Also good against the Cog that can bounce out. So the bans make sense to me. Other side, they're focusing obviously the biggest counter to the Tide Hunter, which is the Disruptor, and then 2 mids. So obviously giving some respect there. But okay, so they're going to go see for Mars back the other way. But let's talk a little bit about the Weaver, because I will say this much. Energy are rocking some kind of like, you can't hurt me strat. Because Takuchi is incredibly powerful against things like Lifestealer because it's so mobile. Time Lapse as well. So this is a support Weaver, which is kind of what I'm somewhat... it could be a 1, but I'm not sure. But it could be a... okay, cool. Support Weaver it is.
Yep.
Obviously, it's also very good against the likes of the Clockwork and the Mars, because there's a good chance you can actually time lapse somebody out of an arena, out of a cog, so that's quite useful for displacement. But then got the Morphling. So what do they do here? Because I mean, normally with a Morphling, you want some sort of steroid. So in a weird way, right? So I say steroid, somebody's gonna be like, no, Hellbird, it's not a steroid. It's a insert, other appropriate drug here. But basically, you think about things like your Elder Titan, your Earthshaker, gyrocopters, like just things that allow you to transform into it. So we might see something like a support ES or a core ES coming out here as well. It makes the lanes a little bit difficult, but you can. But that's kind of one of the reasons I think Black Rabbit Gaming aren't even banning towards it, because they're banning things like the Doom, etc. It looks like they're expecting an offlaner to come out here, which is interesting because I guess you could run something like a Tide support.
Doom mid has been run quite a lot recently. Don't forget that, and it is good against the likes of the Lifestealer and the Mars. So that could be the reason for the Doom ban. Doom mid.
I don't think Doom itself. I think Doom's amazing, especially if you have a Morphling up against you. Because the thing about Morphling, obviously, is that he's happy going late, and Doom is the king of late game. Because I mean, Refresher Doom is what he's going to get, and what he's going to do is going to doom your Lifestealer. He's going to doom your Mars. And you're going to have this one here. It's probably not even the Mars. It'll probably be the last pick that they have on that mid. But they're going to doom that thing, and then it's over, right? So I do think either way, it's a solid ban because they're. But that means they're almost anticipating this going quite late in a way, which I don't think you really want to do against a Morphling, but we'll see. Again, though, I think the big thing for Energy is that they could rock something. I guess the Weaver's fine in a way, because Takuchi Morph does sound horrible. It will give it Germinate attack, but, it kind of really breaks the attack thing, so I'm not impressed by that.
You do have all of these bans coming out from Energy, which is sort of the mobile mid-heroes of the meta at the moment. Your Embers, not your Embers, all of your Spirits, and then the likes of the Tinker, which they banned out in the second phase. So what's sort of left here for Black Rabbit in terms of someone that's... Because assumably they're going to want a mid laner that's a little bit mobile here, that can chase around the fights. But there we go.
Well, okay, Puck's actually a great pick. Obviously, the silence is super against Morphling. It's super good against Weaver. The magic damage is great against Enchantress. It's a really nice way to round off their draft. I'm not sold in general, though. I think that they do have a great ability to like contain a particular area. They have great catch. And I actually think that pushing is okay because you have the opportunity to rage and lights and just nom on the towers and that kind of stuff. And obviously, Jakiro is pretty good at taking out of towers with liquid fire. So their draft is, I would say, fairly complete in the sense that it has magic, it has potentially BKB penetrating ultis in the form of Jakiro if he gets Ags, obviously the Puck if he gets Ags. So there's some options there. But I think that, okay, Energy, just they have something very clear going on here. And I think they have almost ignored Black Rabbit Gaming how they want to do it. Look at this draft. Look at it. You can't hurt these heroes. Just okay. So you know what you need to kill a DK? You need a Lycan and you need a Tiny, which they do not have. You know what you need to kill a Morphling? Well, yeah, you need Silence, and they do have that, and the Puck can kind of deal with that. But once he gets mad, so you can have some real problems with his Morphling. Weaver's hard to bring down. Enchantress is hard to bring down. Tidehunter is hard to bring down. And your life's gonna suck. Because you do have some bursty heroes on your team, right? But if you're planning on going late up against this Morphling, which is what the Doom ban kind of indicates to me, it means you're going to have a really hard time dealing with this draft. Because how do you kill this stuff? How do you kill these heroes? Well, they have some answers, but they're going to have to make sure that this doesn't go to like 60 minutes. Because if this game goes late, I have a really hard time.
Yeah. Crisp, clean, perfect Dota from the bunny ears side of the bunny ears. No, that's not right. The rabbits. They don't have bunny ears. They have rabbit ears. Wait.
You made it. You made that logo, and those look like bunny ears to me.
Well, it's a little head thingy on because it's still Pingu, but they've got like a little Halloween headband. What do you call them? The little things with
bunny ears. Oh, those things.
Bunny ears. Yeah. But they're rabbits, so they're not bunnies.
Isn't a bunny kind of a rabbit? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's
I
like
don't know. Isn't there a difference in rabbit? What's the difference between a bunny and the rabbit? Why not call them the same thing? Anyway,
I'm pretty sure bunny is a rabbit.
Can someone confirm to us? Is a bunny a rabbit? This is a dilemma now that we need to be sorted out before we get into the game.
To be honest, if you hadn't brought it up, George, no one would have known. This one's on you.
These questions haunt me, Hellbird and Hellbird's Spirit. These questions haunt me, and that's what I want to see. But besides the ears issue, there's going to have to be crisp, clean Dota coming out from the side of BRG. And that is going to be, just like you're saying, how are you going to kill the likes of Energy for this first game number 1?
Hold on. Something coming through my ear. A bunny is another word for rabbit, although it is not an official one. Bunnies are often seen as cute, fluffy animals and are often thought as babies. The most popular bunny is, of course, the Easter bunny.
See. So, would it be an insult to call them bunnies and not rabbits?
Prepare for
because they're fluffy and cute instead? Or is that not an insult?
We return this time to our advantage.
Another question for you.
You know, there's items. Let's talk about items. Good. Items in the field.
Yeah. Well, got a lot of iron branches.
That's a lot of iron branches.
Yep. That's my contribution to the analysis. Yeah. You said you're the best, so I'm going to take your word for it. But I'm more interested in the smoke.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. That's Dean's problem. You know what you really want to worry about?
Ooh.
Oh, hold on. You want to worry about
I want to be worried about this. Deppy has just got the fright of his life. You see 3 of them come around the corner. Peekaboo, here are you. Nothing to come of it. Imagine if he went down to the bench side to get the win. Well, they wouldn't have been.
30 seconds to battle.
Well, that's a bad party that I did not want to be invited to.
George, do you want to know an interesting statistic?
Sure.
Do you know that Observer Wards have a 50% win rate in TI? Now this makes sense, right? Because everyone buys Observer Wards, right? So you're not surprised by this statistic, right?
Yeah.
Except it's not exactly 50%. It's 50.2%. That means that somewhere, somehow, a game was played allegedly at TI.
Yeah.
Where a team didn't have an Observer Ward.
Was it not had it in the inventory at the end of the game, or not have used one during the entire match?
It's I think it would be higher if. Point is, something's wrong, right? It might be something as simple as like how many wards people place or something like that. But like somewhere out there, there's a game that exists at TI where somebody did something weird with Observer Wards. More important, just remember that, guys. You have a 0.2% chance higher of winning your Dota game if you buy an Observer Ward.
So buy Observer Wards, kids. They're free. Carries? pick him up. Don't be stingy on that side. As you see, nothing really going on in the game already, but Adestam getting quite deep here on the mid lane. How do you expect this matchup to go with the DK versus the Puck? 66, a little bit of a lead, although it's just the second wave at the moment.
So, basically I'll describe this lane as like... Have you guys ever seen the movie Battleship?
Of
It's
course.
got like Rihanna in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know how like nothing happens?
Yep.
Yeah, that's mid lane. Battleship.
Okay. Let's move it along.
I walked out of that movie, true story. Another 100%
Really?
fact. Yep, couldn't watch it.
It was a good movie. It's for fun. You don't go to Transformers for the characters. Same way you don't go Battleship for, well, not battleships. But top lane, we're going to have guy next door putting a bit of the battery assault onto TKC, but prances it off. Nothing the Eng can't handle. And yeah, I think this entire, all three lanes is a bit of a battleship at the moment.
I think... you know, I think top lane's the one to look. I think the Observer can take the next couple of 10 minutes or so off, because I think it's the one lane where something might happen, because I think Clockwork could get in trouble. Yeah. Basically, don't think I have Clockwork.
I'm just going to be keeping my eye on the CS chart, because that's about the only thing that's
I
going
like
to be moving.
Jakiro bottom lane, he's dying. He's dying as we speak.
Is he dying? Oh, he's
He is
actually dying. Joba is going to get the thing. Soup just runs through the tower. Is going to have his way with him in the Embers room. Or while there's Embers. No one can see what he does. Anyway. Top lane. Guy next door is getting quite low here from the Saras, from the Enchantress of the Impetus.
Top lane, bottom lane, Soup, look at him go.
Where's he going? Where's he going? He's chasing the crew. No.
You can do it, Fluffy.
Oh. Is that the real Fluffy now? They
it's
need
a
to find a bunny courier, and everyone needs to equip it. I want to see that for the next game from BRG. Nothing less, nothing more.
What if it's a rabbit though?
But they've got the ears. They've got pink ears. So now I think we got to call them bunnies. Black bunny game. Huh?
You know what with the blinkers now? They're just blinkers. You know, you guys, anyone like Blackpink out there? They got
Oh,
Blackpink
Soup. The ward from Minotero Pain off now is going to get the one kill and the other kill. Nice bit of gold taken up there. Defin's getting quite low here up on the top lane. Using that strength morph just to stay up. But no more regen left on him. The Eng does have a little bit to quench himself. So be okay.
What's actually really interesting about that is, and I gotta credit Guy Softboard, he actually got the pushback on the cogs onto both TKC and Depi in the top lane there, so some good work. But
You're going to have the Impetus running through. The waveform is also going to put on a lot of damage through that bulwark. Depi is going to hit him with the damage, and the Impetus to finish it off. TKC able to tank the whole battery assaults and get that last killer blow.
Well, I guess at least there's some kills early on. But I think what's going to happen is that likely they're just going to trade off as much more. This is definitely going to be the most interesting lane, top lane. Jakiro's death, the first blood, was kind of because it was first blood. But I think both teams need to do the same thing, is just make sure that they control the creep equilibrium. You can see in the bottom lane Jup at the moment, he's dealing with the fact that they are fighting over these different sets of neutrals here. Interestingly enough, they haven't invested as much as I thought they would with the wards. It was kind of a weird trend that happened for a while where everyone was just like, we are going to sentry ward and we will not cease sentry warding, it will just, and then they kind of, I think, had like a gentleman's agreement across all Dota players across the world where we decided that centering the neutrals was now illegal. Top lane spooked in trouble again.
Yeah, he's going to be alright here. Guy next door is doing a bit of help, but the Impetus, just that one right click, is going to be enough. Depi lets him know with a little bit of the tip. TKC, he's run down here. Guy next door not going to opt to do the courier, unlike Soup. And TKC, just this Impetus damage, even from that level 1, is going to be doing so much. TKC has the boots, but Guy next door has the Tranquils, who will win out. Who is the foster little creature?
Definitely.
Well, this guy next door. Yeah.
It's riding a horse.
Oh no, TKC, is he going to be able to get the Ancient Denies? Actually, he's looking for it and he does get it. 66, oh no, you're running into Adestam with the ulti coming out in the Elder Dragon. I'm going to poison, that is going to probably tick down 66. It will indeed. TP to the mid lane, but Spook is a bit late to help out with the Fairy Dragon friend. And taken out by the actual Dragon friend.
So what's really funny about that as well is that kill is entirely because of the work done by the Enchantress, right? Because by aggroing the Ancients, there was enough damage to kill the Puck. Now Puck may still have died there, it's possible, right? But in this case, it was such a clean, easy kill. It's just casually walk over, like thanks to the right clicks, guys. Don't have to do anything special. And 66 just had no options as soon as they were hit by the Dragon Tail and just got.
Unique down bottom. He's been run down for a little bit from that power camp. They were able to kill off Jabba's courier here. And the wand and the stun from the ice path was able to keep him alive. Otherwise, that would have been a very close kill there, and very close shave for Unique. Funny shave. But up top, TKC again being a nuisance here in this triangle. It's going to have 3 heroes from Black Rabbit TPing over. He's going to go down for trouble, but again, Deppy's getting free space.
This is kind of interesting that they're putting so much effort into this triangle, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, I'm not sure why anyone really wants to go there, because there aren't great heroes on the side of Black Rabbit Gaming to actually farm these Ancients early on. So, or even the hard pack. I guess they can do the hard pack with the Mars and the Jakiro and such, but like, the Ancients aren't that important in this case. They're probably more important the other side, where you have something like a Jupper, who, by the way, also clearly watches my puppies doing the exact same thing as I do.
I love that meme.
You know, you know, people doubted the Ringer region. I bring it up on one cast, and all of a sudden, just saying, everyone's doing it now. Yep. So, Ringer region into the Soul Ring. Just you have endless mana, but point is that's actually probably a more important ancient stack, because Tidehunter can farm it. Deppy can also farm it as well, because he's obviously got the Morbid Mask up. So a bit more of a threatening one, but no one's really cared too much about the ancients yet.
That will be the case. Deppy's got a nice bit of farm ready, picking up a good lead on the side of Energy to start things off. Top of the CS, all 3 cores for Energy, followed by the likes of the Lifesteal, the Puck, and Mars on Black Rabbit. And again, more tower pressure coming in here from Adestam. And Soup is in support, waiting to see what he can help out with that Shikuchi. He's going to just start tanking up these raindrops and using the orbs to get out now. Typical Puck stuff. Although Jabba is going to have a spot on to Soup, and Adestam is going to throw up a stun on the 66. He's getting low once again. The Dream Core is going to come out. The one's going to help him a little bit. Guy next door is kept him in the cogs, kept him in the fade, yeah? So 66 still going to go down. Guy next door, the Urn, is also going to be doing too much damage. Jabba now, Soup is running around the back. Peekaboo, I see you. I think he's going to go down as well.
Better luck next time.
So there's a couple of problems that have happened here, right? So the first thing is that I don't know why 66 isn't respecting Adestam's DK. He keeps almost melee check. He keeps giving Adestam a hug. He's like, come here, buddy. Come here. It's been a hard year. That's, you know, all that second place you got EGL on season 1. Let me give you a hug, right? So Adestam's not even having to work for his Dragon Tail. He just keeps getting it off in this melee range. But obviously with the Weaver there as well becomes quite a problem, because if the Puck does try to get away, he just gets turned on by the Weaver, who actually will do a lot of damage. Puck's obviously very evasive, but the moment that 66 engages onto Adestam, he has to then pretty much run back to the tower, because he's got no skills left to keep him alive. Well, the Adestam, you can keep engaging on him, he doesn't care, but towards the triangle.
He's going to be trying to get sneaky. He did end up getting the bounty rune, but he's going to pay his life for it at the end of the day. Guy next door secures a kill, but that is the ulti coming up from Spook. And now TKC also in the area. Centaur creep to just say hi. Let's get a bit of vision.
Speaking of vision, take a look at the vision from Energy Esports at the moment. It is incredibly aggressive, right? They just had one deward in their opponent's triangle, but there's one behind the tier 1 tower in mid. And it's giving so much information, and you can see the way that they're playing is very, very aggressive Dota. And it's working out for them, right? They have a 4K lead this early on in the game. It's actually pretty absurd how far they are ahead. This is actually pretty disgusting. They are.
Yeah. They are just stunning on them. Spook at the top is going to be stunned by the Centaur. Deppy's going to wave through. He's going to get stunned from the Spear of Mars. TKC taking a lot of damage here from tower. Untouchable does not care about that. There we go. Is going to heal through it from the Nature's Attendants. And Adestam again with this Dragon Form. Every time I come back to him, he's got the Dragon Form popped and he's hitting tower.
So what they're doing, by the way, is Soup and Adestam, they just keep joining each other mid, and they use the Swarm to just tank tower hits, right? So what they literally do is, the moment that Puck tosses out any kind of spells, they just toss the Swarm out onto the Puck, and then just literally run at him. And of course, they're just tanking tower spells. So they're not scared at all. And they've sent back this puck a couple of times. They're late, he's far behind.
Yeah. I'm going to have a couple TPs coming through here. Spook not going to commit the arena straight away, and the creeps are actually going to get the car at the end of the day, so no deny. Jappa is walking over, he has this Ravage. He's going to be winding it up, but is he going to just pop it as soon as he sees 66? We'll have a look here. Does have the silence, all bounce. Clean Dota.
Radiant's top tower is
Just keep an eye on Soup. Every single time they force out that illusory orb, he just traces down the puck every single time, and that clearly is his job this game. I think one of the things that makes Dota an easier game to play is when you really are given like a command from your captain that says, you are responsible for doing this thing, right? At least between this time, etc. And it's very clear that Soup's job here is to ruin 66 life.
Yeah.
He is just constantly keeping up. And an interesting decision from 66, he's actually gone for the Veil of Discord, which is going to help with some of the issues we spoke about earlier. Or the play.
Dragon Tail is going to stop the orb. At this time, is just chasing him down here with the right clicks. Breath of Fire to get him lower, but not in kill range at all. This is just clean Dota coming up from Energy. Yeah, the 7-2 to kill lead, but mainly a 6k lead at 11 minutes. For this such an early start, and especially given that your Weaver is one of the second bottom net worth and has pretty much nothing on it. What does he have actually? He's just got that urn that he picked up earlier, and that wand has come in great effect there. But Deppy down to the bottom lane, taking out the tower, as you did have the lifestealer moving out there of Unique, and the tower to fall. That's all 3 tier 1s now.
This is a bit of a mistake as well from Black Rabbit, because they weren't in a position to pressure that off-lane tower, and they just stationed their tanky boy up there. So this is what we were talking about in the draft, about how Tidehunter can do this to you. Like, he's got phase boots up, he's got his ring of health, and he's building that hoodie that we discussed. So what this means is that he can literally just run at you, and you will see him do this. Like, he will just simply position himself between the objective and the opponent, because as long as he's doing that, they are forced to deal with this Tidehunter, which they don't have proper solutions for right now. So you can see what happens is Black Rabbit Gaming, they decide, we're going to give up this bottom tower, but we're going to go take your top. It doesn't happen, and mid lane they're in trouble. Yeah,
mid lane, Adesam is going to be caught out here in the arena. It's going to be trapped in there, but it's just now ending. Guy next door has cut him into the cogs. The actually battery assault is keeping the stun on him, unable to hit any of the cogs to get out. TKC did get out, but the hook shot's going to come through from Guy next door. Is going to connect, not able to right-click the Enchantress. Soup is there in support. You do have the bugs onto Guy next door. And that's going to be good. Nice little hook shot there, but to no avail. Deppy is going to jump in, get the waveform onto him, although silenced up now. Unique's getting in quite low. Deppy is there, pops the Ravage from Jappa. You are going to have Unique forward very, very low. The armor toggle's keeping him alive for now. He's going to try and get into 66, and that is his emergency exit here. Spooked is going to have an exit of his own, actually. And 66 can't stop the inevitable death of the spooky man.
Well, they are in
It is October. It's Halloween. It's spooky man now.
I like it. It doesn't Rayshon get a pumpkin around about now? Anyways.
Well, there's a watermelon on his team, so close enough, I think.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
You know, like,
Radiant's
when you're around
middle tower
watermelon,
is under attack.
just carve a pumpkin. You know
It's
what
like
I mean. The other way around.
Summer version, not a pumpkin.
Exactly.
Watermelon. There you go.
And it's like it's spring here, right? So
It's festive, yeah. Is
So
a
we can
watermelon
use
festive?
watermelons.
I don't know if a watermelon's festive.
I mean, if you put vodka in, it's festive.
It's any time of year. Oh, okay. Back to
Back
Dota.
fine, let's have a chat. Let's have a chat, you and I. I have some ideas about this gush of yours. Maybe we can, we can rebrand. You know, when you
Gush is
suddenly
just-
see him and Brewmaster getting along a little bit too well, you know.
And then Kunka's letting out the rum as well.
Dire's
Nah,
middle
that can't
tower
happen. Those
is
guys,
under
they
attack.
hate each other.
But, they end up on the same team a few times.
You know,
Like it-
everyone says that Kunkka and Tai don't like each other because Tidehunter sunk Kunkka's ship. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. You know what happened? Ask me what happened.
What happened? Hellbird as a Soup run away from an easy kill.
What happened was Kunkka tried to turn him into a vodka watermelon. No
Is
wonder
that
this
what
guy's so angry. He used to be like this skinny dude. He started getting swole. He was
That's
just
what
so
the-
angry about this. This is why Kunkka is in trouble.
That's what the sword's for. Gosh. What have happened? We have got an Arena coming up on top. Adestam is going to be called out on here. Unique popping into him with that armor. It's going to be doing a lot of damage. The battery assault is going to stop the TP. He was a bit of a AFK there, but did stop and gets a nice kill onto Adestam. Unique reaping that gold is up onto the third net worth now. Soup caught out by the silence. You have the Veil doing a lot of damage. He's already used that time lapse not too long ago. Didn't have it available, but 66 not enough mana to follow.
Okay, so Black Rabbit Gaming have to start getting some real objectives here, right? Think about how small the map is for them. If you literally just toggle Mr. Observer, Dean, toggle for us. If you toggle and you take a look at the kind of positioning of the Energy squad right now, they're using up a lot of their map. If you do the same thing for your friends on the other side, it's not the same. And the reason is not that they're not mirroring the behavior, it's the fact that even though they're trying to mirror, one side can push all the way down to tier 2 and the other can only push to tier 1. And they still haven't managed to get it. Now bear in mind, this is with the likes of a Jakiro in your team, which this is where he shines, right? This time he slows down his towers, make these objectives so much easier to get. But again, Japa, to just position himself between the objective, and in this case, the objective they're trying to keep alive, and his opponents. To be perfectly honest, I don't even think Energy care about this tower. They're just doing it to annoy their opponents. Like, if they drop this tower now at 60 minutes, like, who cares? But at the same time, this is so frustrating for Black Rabbit Gaming.
I'm watching Japa here. He's just walked all the way from that tier 1, just like Jaws, to stalking in the deep. Dun dun.
Come here, guys. I got some vodka for you.
Watermelon. But this is just going to be Energy taking over this triangle here, and like you say, Black Rabbit, they got to do something. We got to do something to sort of get back into this game. You do have the lifesteal hopping inside of guy next door now, so maybe seeing if they can get some sort of hookshot combo. But none of his teammates are around at the moment. They do, I believe they have a smoke. Do they have a smoke? They do have a smoke.
Yeah, what they really need is like a 3-man fight, right? They need to go 5-on-3, kill a couple of them so they can actually get an objective. But more importantly, just get some network attack on their team. This puck, it's a flash farmer, guys. It's a flash farmer. And it has got almost nothing.
Yep. Puck sitting very far behind here. First on the net worth. The guy next door is going to run into Soup. They're going to pop out of the enrage and actually end up killing them all. Isn't going to be able to get the time lapse. Actually did get the time lapse. Spooked has found TKC. Not going to be able to get the lineup for the spear. Slowed up for now. He's going to miss the spear onto the arena as well. So Jabba throws out that magpie in the stun, but isn't connecting onto any of them at the moment. Guy next door, hookshot through, is going to have a lot of that managed damage, amplified by the Veil of Discord. From 6-6, Japa is just going to be tanking it up. Tanky watermelon. Armored watermelon. Unripe watermelon.
So I'm just sad that Japa is good.
Oh, 6-6 is going to jump forward. It's a dream call onto Adestam, and they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Japa is walking over. He does have the Ravage. But 6-6. Just again, Orbing out. Oh, this is a bit of a tense bit. They don't want to fight here. 6-6 is getting very bold here, popping all of that magic damage onto Adestam. You have Deppy wayfalling through it, and it's going to hit him with the adaptive strike. You have the silence coming out from Own. Puck, how are you like this now? Ooh. Okay, this is getting very close now. This is some juicy Dota, some juicy watermelon Dota right here. Loving this.
So, you now have Deppy with a Puck Illusory Orb, which means this is the most mobile hero in Dota 2 right now.
Yeah.
If he's not careful, he'll accidentally find himself in another map, so he's got to make sure he doesn't use these spells near the corner. But obviously, you can see that Angie, they're just going to start closing the doors now. There's just nothing in it for Black Rabbit Gaming. They killed 2 supports, but if you think about the time that they've actually been killing those 2 supports without doing anything else on the map, all that time, Deppy was farming, Adestam was farming, Jupper was running at them in a direct line, and this has resulted with them in a Roshan pit, and I think Black Rabbit Gaming have to fight this, and I think they're going to lose it, but hey, this is where miracles happen. They'd win, guys.
Spooked is going to have the smoke break by Soup in the tree line. He's going to jump forward, hits the arena onto Deppy, has the strength of blow. TKC is going to get absolutely blown up. Jappa jumps forward in the back, gets the Ravage on. 6-6 isn't going to live through that one. Unique now has showed up to the fight. Has that armored and Sarge doing a bit of right click damage here. Jappa caught in the cogswell while Adestam meanwhile just plowing on from the dragon form. Is going to hit the stun onto Unique. This is a bit of a tricky situation now. Deppy putting on the damage. Let's go back to the strength more just to fight the stun for a little while, but he does get the kill. He gets silenced in the Anti-Morph. Killed off in the end there by 6-6. Adestam, you're going to be very close here. Unique armor toggling for his whole life at the moment. Does get the double stun there from Jabba. But again, 626, he's just styling on the moment. Jumping in, blinking out, open. Nice bit of play there to stop that rush on.
So, I think he brought back there. Yeah, they got the buyback from
626 and go next door.
Yeah, so 2 buybacks, so it's still a loss, right? The morphling kill's really nice, like it feels good, but they gotta make more of it. They're gonna go straight back in.
Oh, 626 is gonna have a long Dragon Tail stun now. Is gonna actually get this waning Rift off, but not gonna be able to jump up the orb. Japper with the gush and the anchor smash is gonna kill him off. Guy next door now, slowed up from TKC. He's gonna have the cogs to push him back for a bit. But this I sort of see as the issue with them killing Deppy is now there was no one to take the Roche fight. Unique in the meanwhile is going to have the armlet, no Ravage to speak of. Spooked gets the nice spear back on at Stam. And Unique, they just want to back off here. Deppy's arrived to the party though, he has the rage. Spooked, you are not going to be a spooky man anymore. Not to Energy at least, Unique. You got to really get out of here. You have the lifesteal form for Deppy, so none of that have all been shenanigans. Unique, just armlet toggling through, not enough damage to pop him once off.
So,
I agree, Slacks. Oh no.
I just want to say that although they lost big, they lost real big, the buybacks hurt them, they actually didn't get a single objective off. Like I said, it's nice killing the morphling. Like, yeah, we did it, guys. We killed them. Yeah, it didn't matter at all because they came back and not a single objective again was actually taken. And Black Rabbit Gaming kind of did the right thing, as they're trying to force the Roshan, trying to force an error.
Next door. He's making space though. This is a lot of space coming out. I think Jabba is just going to follow him here. And will up getting the kill as the one gush and surely an anchor smash to follow. Oh, you do have Spook though coming back into the Master Arena. Hasn't popped in the Roche pit. Can you do a lot of damage? They do get the Roche line, but the snatch by Unique is going to be able to keep it up for himself. Armor toggling again through. Everyone's taking a lot of damage now. Dreamcall is going to be committed. Soup has been caught out for it, but he has the ulti to keep him alive. Deppy left this fight a while ago, and a good bit of play there from Black Rabbit to keep them in this game. Dia takes the Roche, Unique takes the Aegis.
That was so cool.
That was awesome.
Honestly, okay, so I wanted to say Joba was super good at Dota, but now I'm going to say it was in fact not Joba at all, but instead of Spook. So the reason I was going to say Joba was super good at Dota is because, do you know how many ice paths Joba got off during that fight? Like, literally just ice path. Well, guess what, guys? You have still not done a lick of damage from the ice path. Guys, have I shown you the spell? It's my second one. He probably got off about 7, 8, 9 ice paths in that entire Roche battle. And the only reason they're even in a position to keep resetting and get the heroes to, back in these fights is because Joba must have got 11 stuns, 12 stuns. He just kept stunning multiple heroes with his ice paths. And he was using it very intelligently because he was also using it to zone heroes he didn't want to get back into the fight. You saw Adestam got stuck on the wrong side of an ice path a couple of times in that team fight, which was great. But then Spook just comes in. He gets the God's Rebuke onto 3.
Yeah.
Wall down. I mean, the only reason that there was an opportunity to snatch that Aegis was thanks to that arena. It's not nearly enough. They're still doomed. But you know what? They're at least going to lose this game whilst looking cool.
Adestam is on their own over here. They are looking for the jump from Guy Next Door. They do have the Rocket Flare scouting up briefly. Guy Next Door getting ready. You're going to jump through. The Mars Spear is going to be hit onto the tree. The stun as well. All of the trees disappear. Adestam's going to pop a BKB and try and live, but not a chance in this lifetime. I want to go back to that little comment you made about Jabba and all the ice paths. It's like that really annoying magician that keeps pulling quarters out of your ears the whole time. I don't know where he gets them from. Is that just me? Is that just me? Okay. I don't know where quarters come from. We're in South Africa as well.
Honestly, I got nothing. I got nothing.
We have fifths. Is fifth. Yeah.
So, I wanna take a moment to celebrate, not the kill, but the actual thing that mattered. They got the safe lane tower. Again, 24 minutes in. It's just so late, and they had so little time played. But I will say this much. Unique is actually doing pretty well. He's sticking in there. He's got his armlet up. He's got his death. So they can play around this Aegis now. It gives them something to work with. The deficit in gold and experience is the biggest problem here, though. They're just so far behind in both of these particular statistics. And the reality is that the only way they're going to find themselves in a position where they can really undo that kind of damage is by having energy bounce off something. So the fact that they bounced off the Roche pit was great. It was so expensive though, because it cost 2 buybacks, a lot of extra lives, diebacks, all that kind of stuff. But obviously it was something, right? But what it gave them wasn't a boon, it gave them stability. It just simply stopped the rot for a little while, and it's picked straight back up again. So they're going to have to find a smoke play, something. They don't really have a big timing to work with right now. The thing they have is the Aegis. A lot of teams, I think, will do what they're doing right now, which is pausing the game so we continue talking about this wonderful topic. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Anyways,
How kind of them.
so nice, so nice. Anyways,
yeah.
The thing I wanted to point out though is that what they're doing at the moment makes a lot of sense when the game is even, right? You have the Roche, you have the Aegis now, and normally it makes it really hard for your opponents to deal with you because, of course, what that means, if you think about it, is that you have extra money on the field because you can look at this 11, 12,000 that's sitting on your life steal and say, hey, I get the benefit of those items twice.
Yep.
But here's the catch. They are 13k behind. Energy Esports can just run at them again and beat them again in a team fight. So they don't have that ability to just scare off their opponents from doing anything. What's actually happening is Energy don't care about going late, so they're going to let them continue to farm slow because they are in fact still more frightened of Energy than Energy are of them, even with that Aegis in hand. And that's why what Energy are doing here is really smart, is that they're going to catch them out, or at least try to catch them out whilst they're in their farming patterns. But for Black Rabbit Gaming, they actually should want this. They should want this fight. Because what they can do with it is, instead of them being caught on the back foot here, is if they counter smoke or do something aggressive in nature that Energy are not expecting, they might be able to win a big team fight. A big team fight here could be 6k. It could give you 6k back in your bank. And that could be the cost of your Aegis, sure. But you'll be in a far more powerful position taking this matchup, being 6k behind without an Aegis, rather than 13k behind with an Aegis, right? So I do think that's probably what we need to see them do. But look, overall, they are actually looking a little bit healthier, I think. I mean, I was keeping an eye on the win probability and such, and it, like I said, it's just kind of stabilized. It's not getting better.
Yeah, it's just sort of plateauing at the moment, so not extending their league in any way. But again, even a plateauing 90%. is fine, but that does mean that Black Rabbit have managed to do the things that's within that 9% to keep them in that game. That's the way I always look at it. If it's a 50-50, either team can do any advantage thing and it's fine. But if it's at 1%, you have to do that 1% thing that will then increase your percentage again. So a good toss of the dice to do that 1 in 10th chance. Sitting at, what's it sitting at currently? 88%.
Yeah, it's not looking great.
It's fine. It's 12. That's like what, 1 in 8? No. Yeah. 9?
So what I would love to see now is that let's assume that this smoke from Energy pays off and gets some kills, right? What we really need to see from Black Rabbit Gaming now is to find a way to chip away at these towers, because one of the ways they can come back into this matchup is in the super late. They're not going to win this game in under 40, right? Like,
yeah.
Energy would have to do something incredibly bad to lose this game in under 40. They have so many objectives left on the field. They have such healthy towers. I mean, look at these things. You know what that is? That's a mint. You can sell this tower on eBay for full price. The bottom one, it's only at half HP. It's 25 minutes in the game. They're tier 1 towers. So what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to start chipping away at these towers so that they can delay the game. Because the one chance they do have is when the game reaches that absurd space. After 40 minutes, the game is still going to be in Energy's favor most likely. But if you can get those 60-minute items, if you can get that point where the game is just ridiculous, then you can probably win again. And my reason for this is that I don't think that they have the power that they need to win this game at 40. Like, if the game was even, if they had the same amount of farm, the same amount of experience, I still think Energy are in a much better position, because they still have the Tidehunter that they don't have great response for. They still don't have a lot. I mean, like, BKBs, where are they? The Mars is still working on his, right? So he'll probably get one. Obviously, the Lifestealer has built-in Rage, but you still have a situation where the Titan is going to be able to get off a couple of good Ravages this game, or at least on a couple of heroes, right? So he scales very well. You now have the Agnum Scepter up on the Weaver. So that means that the burst potential that you were looking for, if you remember that kill they got on the DK a little bit early on, if you get that kill on the DK again, and Weaver's anywhere around it, he's just BKBing and TPing out. Because that last time took them a clock ulti and a whole bunch of other things. But hey, the pause is done, so So now I can stop now I can stop filling. Look at that.
Dota, but if you're watching internationally, welcome. Now you've got the proper SA experience. Always a pause in each game, but nothing we are unfamiliar with. The smoke here from Energy, they did sort of dip off from it. Adestam showed in the mid lane, and they're just taking a bit of presence in the triangle where they have vision up at the moment. Adestam being very bold here in the middle. Spook is going to start things off, spear him into a tree. Just a little bit of a tickle. Nothing he can't handle.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They need to be very careful. Oh, yep.
That's very careful. Deppy, Spook, you're not that tanky, my friend. The Waterman does a lot of damage. Jumper's going to jump in with the Ravage. They know Unique TP'd out of here. So not going to have your life to carry with that Aegis. 626 is going to be able to get himself out of trouble. Guy next door isn't going to be able to have that same luxury. Gets popped from the likes of Adestam and Deppy. As the Lifestealer Doggo shown up to the fight again. Only 22 seconds left on that Aegis now.
It looks spy about when they can fight.
Yeah, he does have that Chrysalis now coming into his inventory. It's going to be building up to the Silver's Edge later on, which is going to do a lot for this on this team. But feels like a little bit too late there, not taking that fight as you suggested. Because you are the premier.
Silver Edge is huge value though. Like, it's good against a Tidehunter because it breaks Kraken Shell, so you can actually disable him and kill him before he can Ravage. It's obviously really good against the Enchantress and the DK as well for obvious reasons, and the crit doesn't hurt just in general, right? So the one thing I don't like still about Silver's Edge is the fact that it is on a melee hero, which means he kind of is forced in a situation where if you can't really use it to engage, right? He can't really run in with it because he wants to save it for when he gets on top of something, and then he can choose to use it. But he's got the delivery service, and they have got Jumper.
Oh, Smoke is going to hit onto the hook shock. It's going to go through Unique. It's going to pounding into him with that Deso, and the Sound is going to be doing all that damage. You have the Dream Call coming up with Suit now, so no being able to get out of that. Deppy is going to be lane into them, gets the kill onto Guy next door. Arena is quickly onto a lot of them. Adestam jumps through, gets a stun onto 626, he's bursting him at the moment. Soup's helping out as well. Deppy's waveforming into the fight. Unique is just going to be able to run at the moment with that rage. He's going to live for a little while longer. Spook, however, not so lucky, taken down by the TKC duo. Oh, Deppy! Waveforming, killing off Unique with that 1-2 pop. And now Jumper is going to not be able to hit the stun this time around. And that is 4 dead from Black Rabbit with 2 buybacks, 3 buybacks. Will it be 4? Yeah, maybe.
I think he holds on to it. Like, it's a sport and a core if it's enough.
Oh, Deppy, Guy next door, you're going to be laid in here. Cogs is going to save you now, but actually just get the stun. And the Mars Wall can help with that. Adestam links forward, gets an easy kill, clean it up. As that Elder Dragon forms a lot of that range attack with the slow. The easy pickings for the Elder Dragon. 6-6 now, back in the game, doesn't have Dream Core just yet, still waiting on it for another 10 seconds. And Energy just going to be dipping their toes just outside the base at the moment. Deppy, looking like he's ready to go in, does have that Satanic. Adestam jumps forward, gets the Dragon Tail onto Spook, and Jabba is just going to get absolutely blown up. Jumper's coming in with the Ravage, he's going to be going straight onto Unique the whole while. Deppy has got that Rage form, so is going to be okay. Isn't able to pop Unique with that same amount of burst damage, and now this is looking a bit too worse for wear now at the moment. 6-6, the only one with buyback on the side of Black Rabbit. Adestam looking for the blink, queuing it up. 6-6 being a little bit cheeky here at the moment. You do have Adestam block jumping onto Unique, gets a stun down. 6-6 jump dies in the meantime from Deppy. Is the armlet closet going to be enough from Unique? Is going to have the hook shot in support from Guy next door, keeping him live that tad bit longer. Meanwhile, backs are falling. 6-6, jump in, waiting rift, all about. But that will not stop the racks from falling. Energy looking to close out the game here in this last few minutes. 30 minutes in now. A little bit later than we thought to expect the racks going down from that first 10-minute mark. But nonetheless, this is a tough position for Black Rabbit.
Yeah, you know,
tough the right word?
Can I tell you a story, George?
Sure. Do tell me, Mr. Hellbird's beard. Hellbird, you can translate.
Okay, so I'll ask the beard for permission, but
yes.
But
we all know the beard's the real brain.
Have you ever heard those stories about like mothers who will do like incredible feats of strength when their child is in danger?
Yes.
Like, so they literally will lift a car.
Oh, I gotta stop the story for a brief moment. Adestam is gonna be very close here. He's gonna have the stun and the break going onto the likes of Spook and kills him off. 6-6 sort of got out of trouble there. He was likely gonna be popped off there instead of Spook, but managed to jump in the lane. As you were saying, Mr. Hellbird's dead.
Okay, so you hear those stories about incredible feats of strength where like a mother will like lift a car off a child, or you know,
Yes.
leap over a a massive gap in the road or something, you know, like trying to navigate potholes in South Africa, for example.
Yep.
That is the only way out of the situation for Black Rabbit game. They literally need that kind of motherly. One of their mothers has to sit down the computer. That's what I'm saying. Where they have to sit down and do some sort of insane where they just learn Dota. They're spawning a Magnus. Collapse joins as well. Coaching on the sidelines. This game's done.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a smoke up here from Black Rabbit. One last ditch attempt. Spooked is gonna have a little bit of a courier on his side. He's gonna jump forward. Super's gonna get blasted into the wall. Unique is just gonna blow him up at the start. Then they're gonna wail onto Deppy, but the ravage coming through from Jappa is gonna just hit onto everyone. They blow up Spook like he wasn't even there. Adestam in the meanwhile is just making his mark onto Jabba. And this is GG. Yep. Jabba says GG. Let's go game 2. See what we can do there. Well played, Energy Esports in this game. Number 1. Woo! It's a nice one to start. Crisp clean Dota, just from the wrong team that we said needed to play the crisp clean Dota. Although Black Rabbit, how many mistakes did they really make in this, and how much of it was just Energy playing better Dota at the end of the day? That's always the thing I look at, is comparing the team that made more mistakes versus the team that played better.
So, I think that the draft from Energy Esports was really good. I think that the way in which they approached the game, there was a very concise plan. Like, it was just, we'll be tanky and we'll run at you, right? And surprise, surprise, they
were tanky and they put on their running shoes.
There you go, right? So the thing about drafting is that there's kind of they're like these elements that we always talk about. So, for example, you talk about, what's trending on everyone's mind right now, so I'll use that as an example, is when Seb and No-Tail spoke about, called the perfect Tinker pick, for example, right? And, they have Spectre, and I had some other heroes that gave vision, I can't even remember what they were. But the point is, they were like, they have all these vision heroes, and that's why they're losing. So they're like, all these vision heroes, and they apply these things. But what the real point of that is that the draft comes together around the Tinker, right? Because the reason the vision matters is because now Tinker can hit everybody all the time quite safely. How do you kill a Tinker? Well, you catch it, right? So if you can't catch it, you have a problem. And how does the Tinker deal damage? By seeing you. So it all kind of works in that regard. So the thing about this is that in this matchup, like, Energy just pick these heroes that are like all elusive, hard to kill, difficult to bring down for one reason or another. And Black Rabbit are kind of responding with like, okay, we need the puck, it's going to give us the silence, the magic damage, and that kind of stuff. But the real question is, does their draft come together? Like, do you look at that draft and you go, wow, I really get what you were trying to do? Because the win condition from NG was clear. We're going to station up Tidehunter in the front lines, and we're going to run at you. And if you can't kill us, that's our win condition, right? Tell me what Black Rabbit Gaming's is.
Kill the watermelon. Go next.
Kill the watermelon. Go next.
Throw the watermelon off the second floor story. Sort of hope Deppy doesn't come to the fight. And yeah, I see your point there.
The problem is, whilst the watermelon is falling from the second story, right, the Weaver comes in and time lapses him and puts him back, right? So they just didn't have the answer to this draft, right? And again, it's not that the heroes were bad. It's that they didn't have a win condition of their own that would force energy out of it. They didn't have, say, like that rat that was going to stop them from running at you. Their answer was too direct in a way, which was, okay, well, you have these tanky heroes. We know silence is good. We'll run the silence at you. But like, did this already fit together? Like, did this already come together as a great draft? Not a terrible draft, but not when you have such a direct thing. It's the same when you have somebody running and say like Zoo at you, for example. You have like a Zoo draft coming at you. You see that Earthshaker ban, you're like, oh no, they're gonna They're going to pick that Lycan. They're going to pick that Enchantress. The Beastmaster. He's going to have an army, and the army's going to come at us. Like, it's one thing to pick the heroes that kill creep waves. It's another thing entirely to pick a draft that provides you with an opportunity to actually win the game yourself. And that's where I think Black Rabbit Gaming went wrong, is that the draft pretty much relied on our Lifestealer will get farm, get items, and then overpower you with items at some point.
Yeah.
And it wasn't going to work against something like that.
So just a clearer vision from the side of the runners-up from season number 1. So as to be expected, but we'll see if Black Rabbit can do anything about it in game 2. But before we go to game 2, I hate to steal your line here, Mr. Hellbird's beard, Hellbird, but we've got some free stuff. Everyone loves free stuff. I'm saying I'm stealing your free stuff. Well, I'm not stealing your free stuff. I'm stealing your line of free stuff. But there's some free stuff that EGL 1 is giving away, and I believe today we are going to be giving away an EveTech Spaceman mousepad. So a nice bit of kit there that you can have spice up your desk space. And if you want to enter, you're going to have to come over to twitch.tv/Evesports.za and hop in the chat and just type in EGL1. So EGLONE. And you're good. And you might get a chance to walk away with that Spaceman mousepad, brought to you by, of course, EveTech, HB, and Omen. So this is for only South African residents, unfortunately. So if you are joining us from outside of South Africa, apologies, but you get to see some great Dota, and that's nice, is it not? But it's not free stuff, I guess. So that is going to be that for the giveaway. So head over to Twitch, type in EGL1, and you'll be sure to get yourself or be put in the draw for some free stuff. But otherwise, we will see you guys in game number 2 of Energy Esports versus Black Rabbit Gaming. Ladies, gentlemen, welcome back. It's EGL 1, Season 2, Upper Bracket, Energy Esports versus Black Rabbit Game.
Yeah,
Need I say more?
in a way,
Mhm.
aren't we all EGL 1 Season 2?
We are.
In the
Cold
words
starting
of
today,
Machine Gun
sign
Kelly,
up Evesports.com. No, that's not a thing.
the words of Machine Gun Kelly.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna. I don't know if I'm
There you
allowed
go,
to
it's
slide.
copyright. No, copyright.
Look it up.
comes
Look it
away.
up. Look it up.
There we go.
It's not
Well, there's-
copyrighted. Wow, this is amazing.
True. But we are going to go into game number 2. Game number 1, bit of a stomp, if you to give it a one-letter word. One-letter word, what? A little bit of a run over from Energy, just having, as you mentioned, that clearer outlook of how the game was going to go. And yeah, we're going to get into the draft of game number 2 here. Same sides, and I believe same pick order as well as it had turned out. So last time Black Rabbit opted to have Radiant side, Energy Esports took second pick, and this time it's just switched around. Energy chose second pick first, Black Rabbit took Radiant. So
Are you sure you didn't hit the replay button?
no, I don't think it's a
I'm not
highlights
saying
playing
this 'cause I did
anymore.
this. I'm pretty sure that it was never me that hit the replay button and started casting a replay. I don't know
Yeah.
why you would think that. This
Wait,
is
seriously?
what
He
me.
did that?
Yeah. So what happened was I was casting some international stuff, and I was. You know how you watch for the ticket, you go in and buy the ticket, and the whole
Yep.
thing. I'm like waiting for the ticket, etc. And somebody asked me a question whilst I was in the lobby, and I was like, you know what? Let me go check. I'll go check for you, and I kind of click the download button to actually go find the information. And then it takes a little while for it to happen. So I was like, oh, the game pops. And we came up halfway through the draft, like something's not right here, guys. I smell a rat, and then I go and look, and it's like, lobby still up, mate. I'm busy casting the. Anyways, good time.
Brilliant. That's much better than this draft going off at the start.
It's
I do
good.
like seeing the Bane pick come out. It's a nice. I like to see how Black Rabbit are going to be able to use the purple man, unlike the bearded man that I have next to me, and then you, of course, Hellbird.
Hey, that's
go. Okay. 66 Tinker.
Team bad.
That's a
I like it.
very early Tinker pick.
Yeah.
Radiant
But
team bad.
Hell. Here's the other thing, though. And this was the thing that was brought up during the finals for PSG.LGD, is they preferred taking the first pick. Now, second pick is seen as sort of the preferred choice between first and second at the moment, because you get those
Radiant
two
team
picks in the
bad.
first phase, back to back, but then you also obviously get last pick. But the thing you forget about first pick is during the second phase, when you're picking out sort of rounding off your draft, you have those two picks in a row where you can sort of go, okay, here's our draft. You've got one pick in this, and then we can
10
ban out
seconds
what you're going to
remaining.
sort of do with it. So maybe Black Rabbit just opting
5
to
seconds remaining.
intentionally choose the side so
Dire
they can end up
team
with first
bad.
pick. And then they sort of just have to secure their Tinker during that second phase of picking.
Well, I think a Radiant is probably the thing that's more important here, right? Because Radiant has a 15% higher win rate than Dire, which is like a crazy
That's
high
stupid,
number.
yeah.
And the reason for that, by the way, is obviously the farming patterns that people play and where those farming patterns are and how close they are to important objectives. We are not allowed to play Dota because talk about Dota because this is just flying through at the moment. But let's talk about.
I saw that straight up as soon as the Viper ban went out from Energy. So obviously having that ban into pick at the second phase with the Tinker, ban Viper, pick Spectre, and you've got a nice bit of catch for him at the end of the day, being able to jump on him, not only with the Haunt, but the recent development of the Ags. Not too recent anymore. It's pretty established at this state of time. State of words.
Now, yeah, words. The thing is, Specs really. It's interesting because Specs one of the heroes that can kill a Tinker with that Haunt. And the thing about Spectre in particular is that when Spec gets currently, you can easily get away with going for the Bloodthorn build, which of course means that Tinker is. It's rip. It's so rip. I really don't like how early this Tinker came out. I think it's far too early with too little shown. Especially for the other point being that they were already running a Lina, and Lina doesn't lose mid, right? So they can still run this mid Lina if they want to, and they can still beat a Tinker. Yes, it'll be a little bit more irritating because Pew Pew I have laser beams, or you can keep your magic and all that stuff. But unfortunately for him, Lina's not going to keep her magic. She's actually going to give it to Tinker. She's going to give it to Tinker a lot, and Tinker's not going to like it. So I'm not a big fan of this. They are trying to get the vision up, but they wanted the Spectre for sure. They were the team that wanted it. They wanted to grab it. They immediately went back for the Bloodseeker because that gives them some more vision. Obviously, the Bloodrite gives you vision. You get the Thirst; it'll give you more vision, and it's going to be very useful. They also actually have great vision, right? Because the other hero that's very interesting about all this is Bane, because Bane has a very high nighttime vision, which means that they're going to have an advantage going into that situation, which is good. And I like where they've gone with this. But why not pick your Bloodseeker early, or
save the Spectre pick for second half.
Or literally anything. Like even pick the Spectre up before the Tinker. Sure, maybe you lose the Tinker, but you still have stuff to play around. The Tinker's being hard counted. There's Clockwork now that gives you information on where that Tinker is. You can scout all these things. The moment you see it, I mean, Hookshot is like, yes, people miss them, but they don't miss them against Tinkers because Tinker's going to stand there and rearm, right? So this guy's job is going to be get on top of that Tinker, make sure that he can never move again. And what happens when a Clockwork gets on top of you, George? What happens? What does he click? He clicks.
Q, I don't play clock. I don't know what battery assault is.
Doesn't matter. He clicks battery assault, right? Sure, we'll go with that. Because what's going to happen is your Tinker's going to be like, I'm going to try rearm. I'm not going to rearm. No, I'm not going to rearm. Hold on. You know what's
doing
we're going to jam, guys. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Yeah, we are far too wide for this. Good. So
PA ban. Hold up. So I assume they're thinking this is the offlane Bloodseeker now.
Yeah, that's what they're expecting.
I guess, yeah, the Bloodseeker does lane up quite well against the likes of the Spectre. But is it going to be a 4-inch or a 5-inch? Because the inch should actually do okay against the Blood. In terms of the regen and the amount of harass that you can put out.
Yeah, so I think you're going to have obviously one Spectre, 2 Lina in this case. Clockwork's going to have to go 4, and then Enchantress will go 5. I don't like... You can run a Clock on any of the support roles. I do think it does work. I just don't like the idea of having a Clock and a Spectre together. So hence I think the Enchantress will do a lot more to keep the Spectre alive and nice and safe. But yeah, and accordingly, Black Rabbit Bunny Gaming agreed because they ban out the Night Stalker and the Sand King. So obviously the Night Stalker also very painful against the likes of the Tinker, just gets on top of him. Also good against the Bane, for example, so good ban there. And I think the Sand King is just, hey, we didn't feel like having to deal with this. So I'm trying to feel like why exactly the Sand King. I mean, obviously it's a great defensive offlane in the sense that, again, it's a damage mitigation. We saw the Tide Hunter do it with, just being a Tide. But Sand King is elusive, and of course makes it very hard to push into. Obviously a lot of good disable as well. So
I'm also looking at this Bloodseeker. Is there any chance of them running it as a 1? Because I'm running it through my head. The Spectre's going to be jumping onto your backline, trying to kill off the likes of the Tinker or the Bane. then Bloodseeker's going to have to run at the rest of them as your POS 1, but as soon as his BKB's done, he's just going to get controlled into bursted by the likes of Energy. So I think they're sort of stuck at sticking him on the 3 position, correct?
Yeah, so I agree that's going to be a 3, and one of my main reasons for it being a 3 is, of course, you can actually buff up magic damage.
Yes.
I don't entirely disagree with your logic, by the way, because a BKB Bloodseeker just running at you is such a pain, so difficult to deal with, right?
But then as soon as it's done, it's just because you're gonna have to go it early on a Bloodseeker +1. Okay, so pulse 3 Bloodseeker. There we go.
We went wrong. This is actually kind of cute. I mean, I like that you put down the chrono, you put the blood right around, and that kind of stuff. Do they just Dawnbreaker this though? I feel like you just Dawnbreaker this.
Yeah, this looks like
why
a
not?
Dawn game.
It's not banned. It's not banned. It's not banned.
Nope.
It's not banned. You just Dawnbreaker.
Yep.
Cool, GG. Congratulations for.
Now select your hero.
I'm very surprised by that because Dawnbreaker was such a good pick here for NG.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't like it themselves.
Maybe Jumper doesn't play it too.
Yeah. Could be that because, admittedly, this is such a good Dawnbreaker game. Because okay, so think about the spots you're going to get locked down into from Black Rabbit Gaming. So the first thing is the Bane. He's got Nightmare. He's got his ultimate. Which leads up to things like the Blood Right, which leads up to the Rupture, which you can't move on, leads to the Chrono that you can't move on, right?
Yeah.
So when you go Dawnbreaker in this case, it just makes life an absolute misery. Now, admittedly, in Energy's kind of defense in this regard, there's a lot of magic damage still coming out from Black Rabbit Gaming, which Dawnbreaker is going to heal through, but really what you're after is the Ags upgrade. You're looking for the evasion, etc., right?
10 seconds remaining.
So what's going to happen instead is... shout out to Dean.
Remaining.
Hey Dean, I got you. Because I think he coined this phrase at some point. But like, the Faceless Void is going to put something in a hyperbolic time chamber, and then they're going to toss a bunch of magic into it, but you can still heal through that, right? So in this case, they're going instead with the.
That's not fair.
I mean, it's.
You were talking already. That's not fair. Anyway,
it's done, right? You guys know what's going on behind the scenes, but all you need to know is that
I just lost out on free
eating
food
tonight.
Yeah.
So anyways, Japa, the Japa event. Wait, what have I done to us, George? I'm sorry for bringing us to this point. So. I'm trying to figure out why you do the Venom. So one of the annoying things about Venom against him is the fact that obviously it's very good against the Faceless Void because it gives you persistent ways to annoy him, right? So Void doesn't like persistent damage, right? So what happens is... Okay, good. Sorry, nothing to. Anyway, so the point is that obviously he just kind of tags away. He gets like a Gale off. Obviously, he persists the slow on the other side of the Time Walk, and of course, just the harassment that he does with his passive. Obviously, is also very painful for a Faceless Void. So in the laning stage, it's going to be a really nice answer to it. I don't think that's why I'm going to see that offlane Venomancer. And then I'm guessing it's just a bit of like, hey, we feel comfortable playing this. We like where this is going. The slow makes it nice. They have a lot of damage on the field. They have a crazy amount of damage on the field. In fact, between the Venomancer, the Lina, and the Spectre, well, these heroes they just leak it. They leak damage at you. It just doesn't stop. It just you just please stop. I'm really dead. But they're not going to stop. No, they're going to make you buy back, and you're buy back into their pain, right? So that's pretty good. But I do prefer Black Rabbit Gaming draft this time around. Again, the Tinker I just wish came out later because I'd be like, yeah, Tinker's so cool, and they probably wouldn't be playing into the spec and the Clockwork. 2 heroes are very good against, and of course the Lina that can blow up a Tinker. But at least this time around, like you can see where their draft's going. They have the lockdown from the Faceless Void, the hyperbolic time chamber. Dean, draw a smiley face on the map. Come on.
We want to see it.
Come on. Can you even hear us? I don't know if you can actually hear us.
I'm not too sure.
Dean, draw a smiley face on the map if you can hear us.
He has an interesting bit of stat. I saw this when they ended up having to... Oh, Jabba. What a bit of a... What happened? Did he place knobs and he got instantly dewatered?
I don't know. I was too busy...
I think that's what happened.
Trying to redeem us at the time.
I went and just checked on my stats because I'm pretty sure I was right in the end. When we have this Adestam on the mid Lina, he obviously has a good record with the hero in his PUT, but this is only his second professional match on Lina, and he's not won with it yet. How's that for a stat for you? You'd have thought Adestam would have won a Lina match in a pro game, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no. Not won a Lina game yet. Only one though. But,
do you want a really interesting thing?
Sure. Hit me.
So about people not winning. So I used to have a curse on me that the team who picked Spirit Breaker would lose. Whenever I cast the game, if you pick Spirit Breaker, you would lose, right? And then what happened was, in a matchup between the Bravado Emotion, which for our international folks was a team that didn't lose for like 3 or 4 years or something ridiculous.
Oh,
right?
Lena is going to take that full duration arrow stun, but 66 can't do anything about it. That was a nice bit of an arrow there from guy next door. And Jabba and the Mirana just swapping lanes. Seems they're just going to walk over to the other side. Because you do have the likes of that Enchantress up on the top lane, and the Spectre as... Wait, where's the Spectre? No, Spectre's also top. What am I talking about? So, anyway. Swapping lanes there. See what they can do. 66, taking a bit of harass here from Adastam under the tower. Are going to have that cheap mana rocket flare, just giving a bit of harass.
So yeah, anyways, the big Spirit Breaker. and they lost. They lost. Even they couldn't beat it.
Yep.
I gave up on it. I retired.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. Sorry. I thought that arrow was going to lead to something, but alas, level 1 thing. Nothing happened.
I'm more surprised actually. You didn't just. It may have been on purpose. You may have been going for the range creep.
True.
I mean, actually, that's something I don't talk a huge amount about. But people just block the arrow with themselves. Like,
true.
You can't have this range creep. You can have me, but not my range creep.
Range
not
creep,
good old
Mr. President.
Paul.
Range creep for President 2022. I'm sure he'll have some things to change about Dota. YNROCC, listen up. Yep. This is I think this is another battleship for the first few minutes here. Although mid lane's rather enjoying. As I say though, Soup down bottom is going to be putting a lot of work onto Jabba here with that battery assault. You have the poison coming out and a deny from Unique. They were timing that to perfection.
Do you know what's amazing about that? They're all standing there waiting for it, right? So like you saw pretty much everyone. They're just waiting for that last hit, like including Unique. It's like, who's gonna get it? Who's gonna get it? It's
so where you play those custom game modes where you can hit your allies.
He's gonna want to deny him this time though.
Yeah, Unique.
Creepus,
Not gonna be able to get out of this. Nope. Oh, nope, Fair Fight isn't gonna be enough. And Jabba gonna have to eat that cheese all in his own in the bot lane for a while.
That's what it says, the Italian knife.
Oh.
This is really unacceptable.
TKC, I mean, this Enchantress, we saw it in the first game. Just doing so much harass here. Always gonna go after the kill, guy next door, 1 impetus. And you will be dead here, Mr. Kitty. Oh, Kitty, no. No, Kitty. Don't do it, Kitty. You have so much to live for, Kitty. Kitty dead. Not dead.
I mean...
What? Not dead.
Thinking about being dead.
It's close to being dead.
Smart money.
There's a moment we turned around.
Yep.
Just kinda gave it
Bot
a-
lane. Soup, again, battery assault onto Jabba, not being able to deny himself health this time. Actually, I think, yeah, they did commit the Venomous Gale. So a bit of the damage from Jabba's side. Good start down there in the bot lane, 2-0 thus far.
So, okay. Mid lane at the moment, Lena really pulling ahead. Yeah, and I was talking about this in the draft, that this hero doesn't lose mid.
Yeah.
Just,
Ever.
I mean, honestly, but this is bad. Right? Like 66 is really
Radiant's
struggling.
middle tower is under attack.
I mean, it's 24-6, but check out the levels even. I mean, near a full level advantage on Addison, and that's because, of course, he's just controlling this so well. I mean, he's picking up the water in now. He is good as gold. This is going to be a real problem because...
Guy next door might get it. Oh, the arrow's just going to miss onto TKC. He nearly got a bit of a range there onto the Kitty. But Kitty not able to do it this time. Not a fluffy kitty. What is a fluffy kitty? Because he's a bunny kitty.
Or is it a rabbit kitty?
Rabbit kitty. Bunny kitty. I don't know. As long as neither have rabies, then we're fine.
They all have rabies.
Oh no, Unique is going to have the kill onto the courier, but the stun from the cogs is going to be enough. Oh, I thought he got stuck behind the tree. Just going to TP back to base as that Venomous Gale. Going to do a number on him, and he's now going to have to walk all the way back, and is not doing too well in the likes of the CS either. Sitting bottom of the cores at the moment. Well, the top of his team, but all below the likes of Energy. Spook though, having a better time than he did last game up in this top lane on the Bloodseeker. TKC loses Tomato Bear to the arrow of guy next door. Mid lane. Soup is going to be walking up here, isn't going to be able to catch onto 626. He does need to get within hugging distance for that battery assault to take effect.
Yeah, we saw this last game as well. The exact same behavior. They just want to make sure that Adam has the game, has the game of his life. Just an average Adam game, actually.
There we go. Soup running under tower. Fortify to come out from 66. Try and help him out. The laser isn't going to be enough, and Adam gets the kill secure. Although he does get the kill, but no XP going the way of 66. Unique though, he was jungling just down there in the bottom lane. I was going to show in middle. I'm not sure if this is best move, but I guess
he just wants to farm.
He needs anything down bottom. He's just not getting anything.
You can't farm bottom. He could probably go top. I mean, that's probably it's not going to be great because he's still got to deal with the Enchantress and quite frustrating. But that's a much better lane from to farm in. They should definitely swap this around. But Tinker's going bottom.
Adestam got very close. They did have the regen ruin. The 6-minute gods praising Adam there. Down bottom, Chopper is going to take up Jabba. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, as some CSGO guys would say. And 66, swapping lanes with Unique now, who's going to hit bottom. But Soup is just going to follow him around. Because he knows at the end of the day, this is going to be the main target that he's got to keep his
Denied.
robot spell? I don't know. Spooked. It's going to be run up on top. This impetus is going to do a lot of damage. Not going to be able to get the kill on the side of Deppy. Double leap away. Guy next door will be fine. Game is hot.
Chrono down.
Oh, you're going to have the Chrono coming out. 66 standing just on the outside. Are they going to get the kill onto Adestam? They do. Unique. Getting that kill. Nice bit of gold into his timely pocket. 600 and 261, not 600. TKC, top lane, impetus. Onto a kill from Spooked, so I think I cast cursed him. As I said, he was doing well. Ends up dying. Oh, not again. Jump and Soup. He's gonna... Okay. Jobber's figured it out now. And you are gonna have 66 coming in. So maybe he can offer anything... something to this little bit of an issue. Soup now knows that they have vision in that area as the rockets hit him from the high ground. And Jobber just gonna go soak some XP down at bottom.
This all just feels a little bit too much paint by numbers though. Like all these lanes do exactly the way that Energy want, and they're not changing things up to make it difficult. So for example, like if you just look at the state of the game, Deppy, Rigo's Falcon blade up, his move, I think his Partridge are flying out towards him. They are. So who wants to have a little gamble with me? Who wants to have a little gamble? Oh, he's already queued it up.
Adestam middle is going to get the stun onto 66, but he might have a chance here. Unique no longer has that Chrono available. Did use it earlier. But a good bit of juking is able to get everyone out there. And what's the sleep cancelled there by something?
Yeah, it was cancelled by Jovo.
Was it the battery assault?
No, that was his battery assault.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he just Jovo cancelled it. Jovo decided that he woke him up.
He didn't want it.
You know what happened there, right? Have you more memes, guys.
More memes.
That whole thing about I can get no sleep because of your, so you won't get no sleep
because of me.
That's Jovo.
Okay.
He's like waking things up. It was the hands of the cheese
story
now.
as old of time. He's gonna hog him into the cogs. Stun gonna come through. Laguna Blade not gonna kill him straight away. Gonna need a few right clicks to get the kill. As Unique is gonna be running away from the pesky little Enchantress.
Deppy is soloing two people.
Yeah, this is a very good game for him at the moment. Spook though, he's got... he just wants to get some creeps, but not going to be able to get the heal, and Deppy is just... he doesn't know. He's so close. Come on. Something. Please.
Yeah.
Oh, Chrono is going to come out. The long range arrow is going to hit onto Soup. A bit of revenge for Unique, but no, Soup is going to be able to get out maybe, but they won't get to deny this time around. Guy next door, not enough damage. They are going to have Spook pocking the Rupture and the Blood Right. He's going to be able to kill him straight off. The Sleep, actually, they're stopping him from TPing back to base. The Roche deny. Well, good bit of play there. Is Jobber going to get out here? Oh, just barely. Is he going to tick down in base?
So the thing about what just happened is that Black Rabbit just committed the Chronosphere, which is their one I can still win the game card
Yeah.
onto a clockwork, which they do kill, but they lose 3, and now they have this window of 2 minutes where they have no options. Deppy's already soloing 2 heroes, and we're talking about a Spectre with power trades and a Falcon Blade. That's 36. He's going to have his Ags up in a very timely fashion. It is going to come out really fast. He's going to build a Manta.
Oh, you're going to have the Fiends who are coming after the middle. Jabba is going to be able to help that out. Unique is jumping in there, but he has Soup now. The battery is still keeping him from jumping out. The Laguna Blade is going to come out from Adestam and kill off Unique before he can use that time off. Jabba taking all of these right clicks to the face. The purple man will be no more. Oh,
So, I really appreciate the fact that the Bane was able to get off his ulti.
oh Adestam. Hit the stun. No! Is he just diving this? Oh, one more right click. Yep, there we go. Adestam styling on them at the moment. No one to stop the TP out. Goes back to base.
Yes.
Can I just address how Super's playing this game? And last game, actually, for that matter of fact.
Making 66 not able to play the game?
Yep. Giga Chad is what he is.
Yeah, he's ruined 66's opportunities in this game. But okay, so let's go with the positive. One thing I like, Joba used his ulti immediately. And there's a couple of reasons that he forces this to happen. One is obviously he wants to use it, but 2 is because he wants his ulti to sync up with the Faceless Void. He needs to be in a position where they can actually get some value out of that ulti, but then also have the ability to fight when the Void is up, which means he can't wait a minute for it to happen, he has to use it immediately. They have to play around this chrono in a big way, but they can't be using it on supports. And yes, they killed the Venomancer on the second usage, but really, they still lost more heroes in that point. What they need to do now is they have chrono up. In just a little while, they're going to have Rupture up. In fact, they have it up already. They're going to have Brains, Fiends up.
The hood shot from Snoop is going to be able to get this. They do have the Mirana ult. Give him some bit of safety if they have vision, but TKC is in there with the Sentry Ward. Adestam is ruptured, so is going to be able to chase onto guy next door this time round. Aditi spawned top lane for Adestam. Looking good for his first Lina win here. 10 minutes in, 12 minutes in. We're going to have the Fiends Grip coming out on top. Unique is going to be bashing onto him, gets one of the bashes, and is going to get the kill onto Soup. Oh, the Chrono is going to hit now. You have 66 here coming with a lot of the damage from the rockets. Is going to actually kill Adestam off. 315 gold into his pocket, but Deppy is shown up to the fight now. Is asleep to delay something for a little bit. Bloodright isn't going to be in time, but you're going to have the arrow hitting onto the likes of TKC, but nothing to come of it. Deppy gets a good kill onto 66.
Is under attack.
Okay, well...
Oh, Jaffa. Oh, Spooked. This is not good. You're going to have the hook shot, the rod, everything's going to be laid on top of them. Spooked is just going to see what he can try and do. Maybe some deny out from nowhere, but no hope this time round. And it's looking a bit rough, looking very reminiscent of game number 1 here for both Energy and Black Rabbit.
Okay, well... They no longer have all the ultis up again.
Yep. Can you copy paste what you said last game? And just
yeah.
Put it
So yeah. Good. We'll just play the highlight drill, but we won't have the highlights. We'll just have my conversation from earlier. Look, the one thing they do have going for them is that there's a lower bracket.
Yes.
There's a low bracket they can go into. There's that. They also could get March of the Machines up. I mean...
Yeah. That's in 6 minutes if they get that far.
They can... Exactly. Then they can make the game last another 6 minutes.
Yep. And then he can get half of the next item.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're being a bit rough here, but what does Black Rabbit really realistically need to do here to sort of either delay the game or sort of get an advantage back onto their side? Because they're 7k down at the moment, 14 minutes in. Quick maths, that's 500 GPM, 500 gold per minute. Nice.
Yeah. I think what they need to do is they need to throw bodies at some objectives. Like, even if you're dying at this point, like, you need to get towers. You can't play Dota like this. And they know it. But the thing is that they're trying to not just throw their lives away, but I would honestly say you get your chrono up, you get your abilities up, you smoke up, you go to maybe even the off lane. Like at this point, like go to the off lane, kill that tower, just so you can put pressure in a lane.
He's going to jump forward, he's going to have the hook shot onto Spooked and pushes him back with the cogs as well. Are going to have a lot of them going actually very low. Shoot might die here, does indeed. Guy next door is going to be a dodge for stun. You have the lasers coming from 626. The Laguna is going to go onto Jumper. Novel. Deppy is going to go straight onto 626, trying to TP out in time. He can. That was very close. Unique. Rolling up the time vortex or whatever the hell it was called. Come on, Unique. Pop it. Pop it. Pop it. Who does he want? He wants an Adderstam. He wants a two-man chrono. He's going to get it. Deppy isn't going to right-click him, but the Adderstam on the back line. Going to make Jubba wish he wasn't there. Unique though is going to be able to catch him, but 626 is at a stand, just going to TP out. Wise choice. So something going back their way, but again, gold swinging in the favor of Energy there as a buyback from Spooked, and he is going to not really get much out of it. Likes of Jubba and 626 only getting those 2 kills at the end of the day, but it is a kill on the Spectre. Take the good things where you can.
I think that's actually a huge win for them, especially under the circumstances. We're also about trading even, like sure, yeah, it cost you buyback, I understand that, but at the same time, you need to be taking these kind of risks. But the thing is this, again, you cannot play Dota with these tier 1 towers up. Just think about this problem they have.
Oh, an inch off the mark. Soup is going to be holding Spooked into place here. He's going to be very careful. Soup does a lot of damage with all those the battery assault. You have a laser coming off the 626 to sleep to save him at the end of the day. Nice bit of play there from both sides. Good bit of turnarounds. Spook was very scary there for a second.
Yeah, I mean, but bear in mind that is a
Adderstam Unique. He's going to hit the stun onto him even with the slow from Jaffa, and it's just going to TP out at the end of the day. Adderstam though is going to commit the Laguna, needs one more right click on the side of Guy next door, but he might tick out to the Venom pass. If he doesn't, he lives barely. The sleep dodge from Jabba is going to keep him alive just barely. Deppy uses the Shadow Step to jump in and get the kill.
Good is this guy at the game though. Like honestly, I think both games Jabba played really well.
Yes.
I mean, and it's just these little small mechanics that have been great. But okay, again, last time I'm going to say this. They need to get the chrono up, and I'm dead serious about this. Go to the off lane. Kill the off lane tower. I know we talk about how unimportant it is. Maybe Energy will give it to you. Maybe you can at least have one lane pushing up. Because right now, the entire game is taking place away from any objective you want to take. It's happening at your towers. So even when you win one of these fights, you aren't able, because you don't have a pushing draft, to capitalize in such a manner that you can actually put space on the map. You need to win these fights on top of their tower. That thing needs to be inside the chrono at the point that you're winning that fight, so that you can get the objective, so that you can start.
Hook shot forward onto Jobber. You're going to have the arrow throwing through. Isn't going to hit. He's going to sleep himself. But this is going to be a proper nightmare, just not onto the enemies, onto himself this time. Not the ability either. Horn is going to come through, actually. Are they looking bottom? They were looking bottom to try and get onto 626. He barely lives. Adam guessed the wrong way. Unique, though, has shown up, and he's a bit stranded at the moment. You have TKC running around the backline, but he has support on the likes of Spooked and Guy next door coming in. The arrow isn't going to connect, but the chrono does. 626 jumping forward with the rockets and the lasers is going to get the kill. The 4 streak going the way of Black Rabbit here. TKC just invis, but they pop down the sentry and are going to get vision. The bash coming out from Unique in the Starstorm. 626 is going to die at the end of the day. Deppy coming in with that Shadow Step is going to be able to get onto him. Unique, jumping out at the moment. Spook and Guy next door are going to be the casualties. Let's see if he can actually get out. He will be able to here. Oh no, the rod! The rod from Japa. Let's stop him from TPing out. Had the ward on the high ground.
I honestly think if he survives, it's another kind of win for Black Rabbit, because he's the one guy on the team that's actually keeping up in farm, like he was at least. I mean, until that team fight, he was just on the heels of Energy Esports, which again is one of the things we have to take as a positive for Black Rabbit. Both games they had cores that were up there. They're losing these games to tier 1 towers though. It's still the case. They need to get these towers down, and then they can start playing Dota again. I'll give some credit as well to 66, the fact he was able to survive that engagement, because it did actually set up an opportunity for them, set up an opportunity for that Chrono. But let's say if Spectre and Haunt in there, and they'd won it, they still wouldn't get the
Oh, 66, the rod, the hook shot, everything's going to be laid onto him, and you just get bursted from Defi with that DD. Arrow is going to be on the mark this time around. And
that is a Colossus curse, right?
Yep. Well,
Like,
we already did it once, or you already did it once this time.
all I'm saying is I'm here to please, right? Like literally, pay you a compliment. DD Spectre just arrives in your doorstep. Like, yes, you're welcome.
Oh, Jobber Abistan. Abistan just blinked out from the sleep setup there. That was very close. Guy next door was TPing in, getting ready to wind up that arrow as well. I have another question. Mirana has a bow, right?
Yes.
She uses a bow for her right clicks.
Yes.
Why the hell does she throw her actual arrow?
I'm glad you asked. You see, in Heroes of New Earth, Mirana was called Valkyrie.
Right.
Think something that kind of looked like Dawnbreaker, but it was also Legion Commander, right? And that ability was the spear being like hurled aggressively, more aggressively than normal. And of course, as we all know, Ice Frog, when he was trying to create Dota 2, decided that he would first make a stop by Heroes of New Earth as, like, you know, Dota 2 beta.
Some inspiration, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, certain things stuck. Puppet Master, not so much. Valkyrie, a little bit, spiritually.
Jabba?
And he's going to do it again.
Yep, he's going to have the arrow from the sleep setup, although you have the horn coming out from Defi. He's just going to choose whatever target he wants. At the moment, Abistam's just going to kick him off in the backline. Yes, Spook to put the Rupture onto him, and the Chrono is going to come out. This should be a very dead Abistam here, as long as they can get the bashes. No bash, but Jabba is going to have the damage to set it through. 626 is going to do what he can, but the horn, or the shadow step rather, is going to come straight onto 626. Everyone's trying to get him very low. Jabba holding Defi back with the Fiend script, but it's not going to work. Soup holding him in the cogs once again, and it's a four-man on one. That's not right.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I mean,
This whole game's not right, let's be frank. Who's Frank, though? I don't know Frank. Do you know Frank?
He's got a new nickname now, actually.
Oh, wait, he's Grove. Right.
Yeah,
Frank.
yeah.
There we go. Now I know Frank.
Radiant's top
Yeah.
tower is under attack.
Can we copy paste? Just go on to the next one.
Radiant's
But in the
structures
meantime,
are fortified.
during all of this downtime of the game, Bomber Manza, congratulations on winning the giveaway, dear sir. You will be receiving that Eve Tech mousepad, so please reply to the admins in chat so you can claim your prize. Otherwise, it's going to have to be sent off to someone else. So, Bomber Manza, so the admins will
George, I have
talk you
questions.
into a chat. Yep. What is it, Hellbird? Oh, Hellbird's beard, rather.
know that he's
Oh,
gonna
sorry,
come
Super's going to jump in onto Unique. There's going to be a lot of damage. 1, 2, 3. He needs a new knee.
I know that you've been
Radiant's middle
brawled,
tower is
right?
falling.
Yep.
But I just wanted to make sure we're clear for the record here. So,
Yes.
you saw the nickname Bomberman ZA,
Oh, Bomber
and you decided
Manza.
that it would become Bombermanza.
Yes.
I see. Well,
Radiant's top
Yeah, here's the
tower
thing,
is
right?
under attack.
Because I read it. I read it as Monza, as in the Formula 1 track in Italy, right? So then I just went, oh, Manza, not Monza. That's a nice play, but I didn't catch the... Yeah.
you know how I say this, Bomberman out of our country. You know, you're not even South African anymore. Where's
Oh no, Super's going to miss the hook shot off Jabba, but I think he's going to get his life over and done with here. Jabba on Jabba. This is taking a while, I'm not going to lie. There we go. Finally takes off. Oh, the Deppy is going to jump straight onto 66. What the hell? How did he manage to blink out there? Just from the refresh, not able to get him.
Yeah, just refresh into blinkies.
That's scary though, hell. Do any of your friends like intentionally blink onto you from fog and then
Radiant's top
try and scare you?
tower is under
Or is that just
attack.
me?
Think you need new friends?
Radiant's
My
top
wife
tower
doesn't
is
really help.
falling.
Well,
Whoopsie!
I got news for you, son.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to be tortured for the rest of my Dota 2 life by my friendly.
Oh,
Linking
it's
onto me.
not just going to be that.
It's not that.
There you'll be in your underwear, getting yourself a midnight snack, and they should be
Blink
ready to
daggering.
get you. Blink dagger. About
Candace,
20
they're
years
taking
from now.
notes.
About 20 years from now, when blink daggers are a real thing. Short distance teleportation. That's what we need.
Just hope it's not an actual dagger. You're not thrown around the house.
Do
That's
you
not
know
good.
what?
Oh, Soup is going to hit the long range hook shot onto 606 and just blows him up there with the Shadow Step. That was a long range up there.
Rearm that.
Yeah. Oh, ooh, this could be a good setup here. Jobber is going to go onto Soup, but not wanting to commit the chrono just yet. Deppy is still in the area, but guy next door not. Ooh, actually had the arrow change possible, but he actually does get the chrono onto. Yeah, this is not good. The chrono was on, but it wasn't on.
I love how you took a
It was
moment
plugged
to-
into the wall.
I'm gonna find something good about this.
If the chrono was plugged into the wall, it wasn't on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, no just. I'm sorry. I'm a very realist, and yeah, this is looking very rough for Black Rabbit.
Okay, I know how we deal with this situation. So the thing about Dota is this.
Yes.
Dota is not one game. Now you say, well, Hellbird, that's doing your thing again, nonsense, right? But actually, it's about little games, and like it's a mini game, just mini games, guys. Like that's all you gotta do, right? So there are mini games that can be won or lost without the game actually ending, right? So, for example,
Oh, Jabba, not going to be able to make space this time, my friend. Shadow Step completely balanced.
okay.
Continue. Yeah.
So what do you need to do if you're 66?
Oh,
That was close.
That was very close. Spooked. Actually, you have the BKB pop from Adesam here, but the Rupture is still going to do damage through, so he's stuck in place for now. That BKB ending in 3, 2, 1. Sixer says hello. Stun is going to miss, but Debbie is not going to miss at all. Neither is Sue. Both of them go bye, bye, bye. That was a very quick 2 kills.
It was so tense. Okay, so what I was going to say is you got to win mini games, right? And they've just lost one. And
Yep.
what I was going to say is that for 3 minutes, if you can make the 30, so let's go with it, right? 31 minutes. You want to keep energy off your base for 31 minutes. That's how you win the next mini game. Because if you do that, well, you're a little bit closer to potentially clawing your way back into this one. And they have the tools to do it. It's just very hard because there's also the ability for energy to scout them out, right? They have a great vision. They have jump wards.
Oh,
They have
Su-
whatever
Su-
just happened
hit
here.
Wasn't hitting onto guy next door, but did hit onto Jabba anyway. Deppy now has that vision, is going to Shadow Step in, not get the kill on guy next door, but does his job. Does his mini game correct. There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is what you call serendipity. You weren't looking for that hook shot, you found a better one. Bounce back the one player, bounce back the other. Good. So the thing is, yeah, okay, again, so new minigame, right? So they've already hit your base, right? It's to make sure that you keep your axe up, these towers up for the next 3 minutes. If you can do that, you're good. Now they have the marching machines online, so 66 got to keep these lanes pushed out 3 minutes. In fact, I'll change that. It's just 2. Make sure that this A just doesn't get her axe.
Adestam very close to hitting that arrow there. You're going to have the Rupture coming on, but Unique is going to be stunned up and controlled. Laguna Blade down to his death. Jumper is going to pop the Duster. They are going to see Deppy jump on the backline onto 66. The laser is stopping the right clicks for the moment, but the dispersion actually ends up killing 66 there. Spooked. The kill of his master. Energy taking the racks now, focusing on objective-based gaming.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Maybe they are OBG. I know it's OBJ, but gaming. G. Anyway.
Radiant's middle barracks has
So like you said, there's a lower bracket, right?
Radiant's bottom tower
Ooh.
has
You know, unfortunately, the reality of the situation is that Energy had a 73% win probability at 5 minutes.
Yes. That was...
fallen. Our scans.
Wait, what? Is that right? No,
Radiant's bottom
that's not right.
tower has fallen.
Sorry, they had a 62% win probability at about 6 minutes was 70%. I'm very sorry. I've led you all astray. I've
Yes.
led you all astray.
See, now your stats aren't 100% anymore. You can't be trusted.
Radiant's
We're gonna have to get the... What's a hero guy? Wasn't a hero, isn't... I don't know. I can't remember. Who was that guy?
He was Muscles McGee.
Muscles McGee.
The man of the 40-centimeter bicep.
Connoisseur of the chicken mayo pizza.
Disgusting stuff. Do you know that Black Rabbit Gaming consumed on average one chicken mayo pizza per year? And that's really what's occurred here. Because Angie have never consumed a chicken mayo pizza in their life.
Is that so?
Yeah, Adam in fact is allergic to chicken mayo pizza. Not chicken, nor mayo, nor pizza, but chicken mayo pizza.
All three together, yep. You know, it's like cheese. I don't know if anyone's allergic to cheese.
They're going for it, guys. They're going. Oh.
Are they going for it? No.
No, they're killing their slippers of virginity.
Yeah.
And they decided against it. I was on the deck. It took a while.
Yeah.
Invisibility.
Kind of there was something I wanted to talk about now. Oh yeah, what is Energy been eating so we can get a bit of this?
Energy, they live off a strict diet of peanut butter and bananas.
Peanut butter and bananas, right?
Yeah, so literally, you should try it out sometime. They can do it in omelets, dinner, but for the rest of the day, it's
Pancakes?
just... No, just omelets.
Just omelets.
Yeah, so what they do is they in fact, they don't even make it together, right? So they take the peanut butter, and they put it on the bottom of the plate.
Right.
On the bottom of the plate.
Okay. I follow. Continue.
And they put a raw egg on top of the peanut butter.
Oh, unique. It's going to pop the chrono just onto the... Oh, actually, the soup is going to come in. They actually do get the kill at the end of the day on Japper. Deppy's going to jump in the back lane, take over Jabba. Going to go onto Unique. Out of time, just going to hit the stun onto everyone. He gets a bash on the first time. Unique doesn't have the time walk to get himself back to safety. Out of time, just blinking forward, wanting everyone at the moment. Has that Hex available, so get close to him. You are going to feel the Dragon Slave.
And then what they do?
Yep. Back to the peanut. Yep.
They scramble the egg inside the peanut butter.
Okay.
Right. Then mash the banana, so it's like a paste, right?
Right.
Pasty bananas.
Just like soup. He's going to turn
Then
Bombermanza
arrives. Bombermanza
Yes.
puts it in the sun for about 62 hours, where it slowly rises.
Okay. So it's like a fine wine.
Yeah.
You gotta let it.
Then they bury it, and then they bury it in tinfoil, of course, so that you don't have.
Do they need a trusty shovel to take it back?
No.
They just use their hand.
That's a level 1 item, and actually, contrary to popular belief, Energy Esports don't actually spawn. Well, they don't get the 7-minute level 1 drops. They actually get the pre-game, and then by 7 minutes, it's actually level 3 drops.
I follow. Yeah, makes sense. Like you said, you're the best analyst there is here, so I have to take your word as gospel.
I mean, I think you should, really. And in fact, that's why I think it's very important that you apologize to Bombermanza.
Yes, sorry, Bomberman. Here's the thing. What's the chance his name is actually Bombermanza?
I'm so glad you asked, George. I've been waiting for this question the whole evening. I can tell you that there's in fact a... There's actually a chance that is kind of similar to a dinosaur just casually like reincarnating and just being like, boys,
Sup?
we actually, it's just a part of our life cycle that we
Ooh, hold up. Deppy just said sup to 66. It's going to go down in the end, but he's very low. But Unique got stunned up. Is going to be able to get the time walk off. He gets a BKB off, but isn't going to get the time walk. Jabba is going to be stunned. Laguna down. Soup hits another hook shot onto Spooked. And that is going to be GG. The Marana. Last one to die here from the likes of Black Rabbit Gaming. I wish I could touch more on the peanut butter and what was it? Peanut butter banana. But this is just a nice clean game from Energy, showing us why they were the runner-ups last year, and were very dominant last season. It feels like last year, and yeah, just nice clean Dota, showing us why they were the runner-ups and why they were the favorites coming into last season. And I believe you put them in. Did you put them in the grand final in your predictions? Energy.
You know, I can't exactly remember how.
I remember you put XD as the winners. I can't remember who you put in
yeah, so
grand final along with them.
I'm putting it up.
All right.
I lost the follow on Twitter. Probably.
I thought you had 100% memory.
Yeah, but I live in multiple universes at the same time, so I'm not sure which one this one was for. So.
Right. Follow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was actually 100% memory in this universe as well, but somebody unfollowed me on Twitter about it. So I have got them losing to Sinister 5 in the upper bracket final, and then losing to XT in the lower bracket final.
Righty. So you have them placed as third.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, your predictions reign true thus far.
Yeah, that was a mistake. I don't know about
Energy,
that one.
watch out. That's where you got to be careful. Low bracket final. Got to make sure you make it through there. And but no, I think sum up this game. It was a nice clean draft. Game number 1 from the likes of Energy Esports. Really clear objective that they wanted to go for. More on the side of Black Rabbit, sort of lacking. What's it lacking? Not vision as such, but lacking a clear motive.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like the thing you said, lacking a vision. So the thing here is that so let's like dissect this a little bit just one last time, because I actually like the guys in Black Rabbit Gaming. I don't like having to.
Yeah.
I guess. Well, whatever happened here today. Look, the problem is that. Firstly, Energy was just too good, and that is sometimes an issue, right? Sometimes you look at a team and they just go like, "Wow!" I mean, Adestam 15-4-6. I actually am not sure what his first game performance was, but it probably something that looked very similar, right? Like he was killing it on his DK as well. You got your cores generally just not dying and picking up kills as they like, having total free farm on the map, and totally controlling every aspect of the game. Now, if you kind of want to break down those into like its core mechanics, if you will, there's obviously we always talk about objectives, and what we're talking about isn't just towers. We're talking about like positioning on the map, about Roshan, about like all these kind of small mini games that you can win. But the problem is that I don't think Black Rabbit Gaming won a mini game. I don't think they won a single one. And if you break mini games down, you can get a much clearer picture of the game. Did they win their lanes? No, they didn't win their lanes. Did they win? Did they do anything to change that? Like, were they allowed to? And I think "allowed to" is the appropriate word. So, like dragging the creeps back and messing with the genders. Like, no, because when they tried, they got soloed by a Spectre, right? So, it's the Spectre with Falcon Blade and Power Treads. They were that far behind at that point, and basically throughout the game, all of these mini games just compound on themselves, and you go like, well, what's actually left you? Because at some point, you're just not tall enough to ride. And that's what happened in these matchups, is unfortunately, even though I can tell you right now, Black Rabbit Gaming knew they needed to kill towers. They knew that they had to bring down towers so they could change the circumstances they were facing. But how? When you've lost every minigame before. Because you getting chronos off onto cores, and you can't, even though you kill like a 2 position with a chrono, the supports to go turn around and kill your offlaner. You know, like, so when I say the support, I mean 2 of them, I mean 1 support turns around and kills your offlaner. And when in those kind of situations, there are no available options. For Energy though, it's almost a little bit difficult to say like, oh, they did this one thing really well, because I think the reality is they weren't actually challenged. What they did is they won their lanes. And then they just did paint by numbers Dota. It was like, okay, we've won our lane. Now the job is to kill the safe lane of our opponent. And they went and killed the safe lane of their opponent. And they did it without any kind of issue. The bonus level is keeping your own safe lane tower alive, which they then did. And it just kind of keeps filtering on like this. And it comes to the point where Adestam is killing people at like 10 minutes in the middle of their base, and people don't have a response because they're just so shooketh. And honestly, I think that Black Rabbit Gaming are a fine group of players, and I think they'll be very disappointed with this game and how it went. And I think that, honestly, jokes aside, I think the low bracket should look out, because I think they are a pretty good side, and down there, they're definitely going to give people a hard time.
So Energy Esports moving on to round number 3 of the upper bracket final. It's going to be a while until we see them again. But meanwhile, Black Rabbit are going to be heading down into low bracket round number 2. We'll be seeing them in 2 weeks' time, and they'll be playing up against either Game Has Changed or Gravetide 5, whereas Energy Esports wait for the arrival of either XD Gaming or White Rabbit Gaming to their liking. So a good bit of matchups is going to come either way. And like you said, Black Rabbit going to see if they can tear up that lower bracket there, as it's going to be very interesting lower bracket this season. I'll tell you that, because
EGL.
It's EGL. That it's you already have Duck, Punks, and then you have Black Rabbit in lower bracket, and then followed by either XD or White Rabbit in round 2 of the lower bracket.
Well, if you've seen my
Where the
prediction,
hell's-
you already
where
know where
the-
this goes.
Yep. So this is EGL. This is why we love it. This is why this is the best Dota all year, or all season round, I guess, on this occasion in South Africa. So if you have joined us from outside the South African region, thank you for watching. Come join us again. Post us on social media. You can check us out on pretty much everywhere at Evesports ZA, and be sure to use the hashtag EGL1 for any communication about the match. If you like the match, if you didn't like Hellbird's beard, or you want to praise Hellbird's beard, I don't know why you take the former option. Bombermanza, yeah, hit me up on Twitter. You know where to find us. And I believe our stuff is down here somewhere. And yeah, you can scold me there for mispronouncing your name. But that is going to be it for tonight, I believe. Do you have anything else to top it off, Mr. 100% analyst? Or no longer 100%? Former 100%.
I'm still 100%.
You're still 100%.
Yeah, that's what I got for you.
You have to go and update that video. Well, of course, actually, no, you never made that video. They just like stole your voice from someone.
Yeah, I don't know how. No, it literally opens with me saying something along the lines of "for Hellbird, about Hellbird, by Hellbird." I think they may have given it away, but you know. Honestly, look, I think Energy look like a great side. They look like they're really hungry for this as well. They played very well, and I think they're going to be a bit of a nightmare throughout this tournament, especially for some of the bigger fish. I think that if you're the likes of Since5XD, this is probably a bit of a warning shot. And again, in the low brackets, I do think that the likes of Black Rabbit Gaming are still going to give people a hard time down there. But it's all going to culminate in some beautiful Dota, right? So don't be a stranger, even if
I mispronounced your name, Bombermanza.
No. Even if you mispronounce Bombermanza, or you don't speak English and you're just one of our Russian friends staring at us, truly wondering, like, what on earth these people are talking about. Not really.
What is going on inside of their head?
Yeah.
What
would be great is that if we do like hand symbols and gestures and stuff like that, they have absolutely nothing to do with what we're doing right now, right?
Yes.
So things that are like completely irrelevant to the stuff that we're doing, right? And then we'll see you next time, I guess.
Yeah. No, that is it for tonight. So thank you, everyone, for joining. It has been an awesome match. Thank you, Hellbird's Beard, for joining us, and thank you, Hellbird, for translation. Yes, we're going to be swimming off of this one, and we'll see you two guys tomorrow for some more EGL1 Dota 2 action.